Hello, everybody. We're back with Legends of Wildemount. Some announcements before we begin. My webcam's off center? No, it's fine. There will not be a Beneath the Tide tonight. So instead, this session's probably going to run a little bit longer than usual. Also, as you may notice up in the right-hand corner of the stream overlay, we are raising money for Color of Change, a really good charity, and I decided to start doing that indefinitely at this point, because fuck white supremacists, fuck racists, fuck all of them. And if you just so happen to follow this channel and to take part in our content, watch our content, and you fall into the category of being a white supremacist, a racist, or people who are pro in support of the, not protests, the terrorism going on right now in Capitol Hill in the United States, you can fuck off. So I don't give a shit. If you watch our stuff, if you've been a cast member in the past, go fuck yourself. Don't give a shit. And I will name drop if I have to. But, no, I won't. But, yeah, seriously, go fuck yourselves. So, we're raising money for Color of Change. The donation link will be posted periodically throughout our Twitch chat. We'll also be posting in the VOD for all of our videos. And then once things have kind of settled a bit next week, for me at least, I'll be posting the donation links right onto the overlays, so people can just go right there and do that and see it all the time. And we'll also be, hopefully, if things come together well, doing an anniversary stream on February 13th for our 2-year streaming anniversary. And I'll be raising money for, again, this charity as well and other charities all throughout that 12-hour charity stream, again, if it happens, if we get enough people signed up and whatnot. So yeah, let's get to it, I guess. Last we left off, you all continued your little descent or investigation into the Deep River Mines and fought an abomination of Lolth, this strange, mutated, spider-like abomination, that was just gross and made up by a number of drow corpses, hobgoblin corpses, human corpses, and let out these weird wails that I believe didn't really do much to anybody. I think one person got unconscious, but that was fine. It didn't really... Anyways. But the abomination did have some people swallowed, and I believe some shit did start to get bad towards the end. But the creature was dealt with, as were the cultists of the Children of Malice. But one of those cultists was charmed by Talindra to be interrogated, in a sense. And you all learned that these cultists were planning on using these potent magic crystals called voidite to blow up the Lucid Bastion in Rosohna, as well as destroy the worship of the Luxon, essentially. You learn that in a few days this attack would happen, and these Drow needed to report back to Zin and the Children of Malice in a few days to kind of get things ready to go. You all found one of these crystals, and Lindak safely packaged it inside his backpack after learning how volatile these crystals could be. And you all killed the cultist after they said they took pleasure in killing babies and everything, and asked what your initiation was. And then you all took cultist clothes, put them on, and have disguised yourselves as cultists of Children of Malice, and have decided to go down the eastern tunnel of the Deep River Mines to the entrance of this underground base that the Children of Malice have been using. And you have come to a stone archway after traveling about 4 hours down into the mines, took a long rest in the mines, and you all wake up at the end of the long rest, facing this... Ooh, where are we here? Facing this arch. This kind of arch that's kind of almost carved into the stone, with inscriptions written in runes around the outside of it. And it's just a dead end. Can anyone read Abyssal?
No.
Okay.
There was something I kind of wanted to do while we were like stirring, like starting to wake up.
Sure.
I wanted to. I don't know if this is going to work at all, but I wanted to do a ritual detect magic,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to try to like sense this bomb thing to try to feel like if I can get to a point where I could recognize it if I were to do another ritual
So
later or
you're sorry. What are you trying to do?
trying to like figure out as much as I can about this like the specific magical like with the way that this feels so
She's
that I
essentially
can
training herself to be a
yeah
bomb sniffing dog.
basically yeah
And you're using detect magic.
yeah I don't know if
Yes.
that's the thing that it could do but I thought
You can
figured I'd
certainly
try.
try.
Yeah, I'm just doing a ritual
Okay.
while everyone's asleep.
Okay. Because yeah, you only need 4 hours anyway.
Yeah.
All right. You finish the ritual, and you can detect magic coming from the crystal, but not a specific school because it isn't tied to a specific school of magic. But what you detect is unstable, pure, errant magic coming from that crystal. It is made up of magic itself that has been solidified into solid essence.
Okay, so does it feel like something I could recognize again?
Oh,
What's
easily.
it smell like, Justin?
Oh.
What's it smell like?
It doesn't smell like
Does it
any.
smell like blue?
It doesn't smell like anything. It's just it's like pulsating, pure, wild, errant magic.
Okay.
Like it's so yeah, it's like literally solidified magic.
All right, so I do that and I just take note of that and then that's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna wait for everyone to wake up.
Okay.
Maybe do a little
Okay.
scales.
Was Lindak awake because he has the crystal, or did you have some, or is there lots
Well, I
around?
assume it
or-
was in a bag nearby or something.
It was in his pack, but you can
It's in my
detect, you can
backpack.
detect it without touching it. You don't need to touch it to detect
Yeah.
magic.
Gotcha.
But all of you awake at the end of your long rest, and Lindak, since you have this crystal on your person, I need a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save.
Yes, please.
18 plus 2, dirty 20.
18. You can feel that magic pulsating through your pack and into your own like essence itself.
Is it going to boost my spells?
No. You push off being stunned for 1 hour.
Okay.
And you feel like these visions were starting to come into your mind, and you pushed it all aside. You can now handle this crystal safely.
Okay, but I still have to be careful.
You still have to be careful with it because it will explode, but you can like hold on to it without it affecting you in any way.
Okay, all right, perfect. All right.
And that's just by having it on your person, not even touching it.
Yeah, through layers of cloth and whatever.
That might be more information we might need to share.
You all wake up. Again, the benefits of a long rest. And this archway is staring before you.
And the cultist guy, he told us that all we have to do is just open it, like go in, touch it.
You said you just need to touch it.
Okay. Now, you mentioned before that it looked like a dead end, but then you also mentioned it looked like an archway.
It's like an archway carved into the stone.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very much a dead end, but there's an archway carved into the stone. So after you came through this hole in the tunnel, like this broken in hole in the tunnel, this is what you found.
All right, well, I don't want to spend too much time in this Durgar's smelly robes.
All right.
Is everyone ready?
Second.
Who wants to touch the door?
I'll touch it.
Okay. Lindak steps back a little bit.
Okay. And he takes one of his arrows and just pokes it first.
Nothing happens.
Someone hold on to my hand.
Enak grabs it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
He touches it with a fingernail.
So who's all holding onto gravel?
Enoch.
Not Lindak.
Okay, Enoch, are you also holding on to Umbra? Oh wait, I think Umbra would be gone at this point because of
Things. Yeah, I would have to
yeah.
resummon.
Never mind, they're not there. All right, so the three of you, since Lindak is not touching anybody, Gravel, when you touch the cold stone, you feel warmth rush through your hand and up your arm. Then you feel yourself and the other two that are holding onto you get pulled into the wall. And,
I don't like this. I don't like this.
And everything is a rush of colors. And the three of you find yourselves standing in a small clearing of large rocks, strange, colorful vegetation of various sizes, and large mushrooms that glow in the dark. The entire area is alight with these large, colorful mushrooms the size of trees. You realize you're still very much in a cave system, but this chamber is extremely open. The ceiling is easily a mile or so upward. This area is dark, cold, and smells of a mixture of mildew, fungus, and sitting water. You can hear all manner of strange chirps and sounds. To most of you, this place feels like another world. You're standing on a stone platform with more of these runes inscribed onto it. The runes are glowing, and the glowing begins to fade. There's also a scattering of mining tools lying abandoned around the platform like they were dropped without much thought. Lindak is not here with you.
Neither am I.
So it's just...
I was just Enoch, and I was going to, but then I saw he was going to do it.
Okay, so Enoch and Gravel are the only ones here then.
Yeah.
So what did Lindak and Tal see then?
You saw them get pulled into the archway and a flash of colorful light.
Oh, Lindak's going for the door too.
Okay, you also feel that sensation. You also appear in this area with Gravel and Enoch.
I'm gonna go too.
Okay, you're all standing on this stone platform in this underground mushroom-riddled, massive mushrooms, size of trees. They're colorful. They glow. It's a weird place under here.
Wow, I was not expecting this.
And Gravel, it's definitely what you think it is down here. I mean, if we're on the same wavelength.
Gravel, where are we?
Oh. Welcome to the Underdark.
Correctamundo.
Ooh.
The wood.
Gravel, give me either, just to see actually how deep you are in the Underdark, because there are multiple stages of the Underdark. Give me either history, nature, survival.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do.
Right, that's fair.
The DC is much lower for you than it is for everybody else.
That's good. The dice are not correctly organized. There we go. And we'll use this dice for Gravel. Okay. You said history, nature or survival?
Yep.
Okay. That is a 12 for history.
So, you've never been in this part of the Underdark before. Your experience would have been usually in the Upper Dark, Middle Dark, because that's where most settlements are. This is the Lower Dark. You get a sense you're about 10 or more miles below the surface.
Yeah. This ain't good.
But
Know where we are?
Well, I mean, it all kind of looks pretty samey when you're down here, but based on the quality of the rock and the vegetation, I'd probably say this might be lower than I've been, I think.
So not close to your village then.
No.
That'd be impossible to tell, honestly.
I need all of you to make investigation checks, please. I'll say investigation or perception, actually.
God damn.
Perception?
5.
5?
That makes a big difference. Okay.
27.
27. Lindak and Enoch.
16.
26.
Okay.
23. I'm sorry, 23,
So
23.
the three of you, you can only see this because there's like little bugs crawling around on the ground. You can hear them kind of skittering along, and it's kind of like bouncing off like your little radar sense. The three of you can see that there's dried blood near the mining implements and a folded up piece of parchment.
Hey, should I get Umbra back? Do we need Umbra right now?
I don't know. Does it take a while?
Oh no, I just have to commune for a little bit.
Like a minute or 10 minutes? Or...
This terrain looks like it might not fare well for a mounted creature.
Oh.
It's very rough and uneven and mushroomy.
Broken ankles, you have to put it down.
Yeah, essentially.
Lindak's gonna grab that piece of parchment.
Okay. You unfold it and read it?
Yep.
Do you know Elvish?
I would not recognize the written language.
Okay, you do not. You recognize it's Elvish runes because, again, your time in Rosohna and everything, and amongst the people. But yeah, you know it's Elvish. You just can't read it.
Can anybody read this?
Could read it.
I'll pass it over.
You do have a drow in your party. All right. Do you read it?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Nah, she burns it.
Everyone roll initiative. No,
Rip it apart. Eat it.
It's dated the 6th of Brusendar, which would have been about... I need to remember what day it is on this campaign. Because I have it on the game page. About 7 days ago, because it's currently the 13th. And it says... Our captors have stopped by this strange platform for a moment. We just came through the archway in the mines, so I'm a bit confused as to how the trip was done so quickly. Thankfully, I overheard them speaking of lodestones and ensuring none of us captives get a hand on one. Apparently, those lodestones are the means of teleporting back into the mines by standing upon that platform. It's a one-way trip without one down here. Clever if any of us try to escape. They're taking us to a base deeper in this place. I know the stories. I've heard tales about the Underdark, but this vegetation isn't familiar to me from these stories. We may be far deeper than most people go. I'm leaving this letter behind in case anyone comes looking for us. I fear what our captors have in store. And that is the letter.
It's not signed or anything.
It's not.
Or any
I guess since it was like written... like hastily and like, yeah,
all right.
and kind of like left behind purposely.
Does it look like it was recent?
7 days ago. That's when it was dated.
Right.
I would have just read it out loud to people.
Hold on a sec. He's gonna pat down his pockets.
Okay.
See, check for. Did one of these guys have one of those things?
None of these ones had one.
No.
Can Enak do a divine sense?
Sure. That detects, if I remember correctly, celestial fiends and aberrations and undead.
It's just celestial fiends and undeads for the Paladin version.
Okay. And what's the radius on that again?
It's 60 feet. Also, anything that's affected by the Hallow spell.
You don't detect anything.
Okay.
There aren't visible paths anywhere, but you can kind of see where like foot traffic went.
Well,
Can Enak pick through the miner's accoutrement?
It's just pickaxes and
Okay.
Pickaxes and blood.
Is there like clothes or anything, or is it just the gear?
There are clothes, like clothes that nobles would wear, most likely, that have been torn off and most likely replaced with something else.
Ooh.
You get a sense these people were probably enslaved.
If I look through the clothes, can I find any kind of like ring or something? Like, because I know I have a signet ring.
Nothing like that left behind. It's just you get some stuff that doesn't matter. Clothes,
Yeah.
Some mining implements they
figured.
didn't need.
And Enoch look for some smaller, manageable mushrooms.
There's a whole plethora of mushroom sizes down here: tree size, normal size, glowing, all sorts.
He's going to take a handful of glowing ones, a handful of normal sized ones. He's just going to get a variety of mushrooms.
Okay, roll me a survival check.
Hey, what you doing there, Enoch?
Nothing.
Come on.
21.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting some mushrooms. I could cook with it.
Let me
Survival
help you
check.
out.
You have never seen any of these mushrooms before, so you do not know their properties. And even Gravel doesn't know their properties because he's never been this deep before. These
fine.
are all very strange, glowing, some are pulsating.
He's going to show Gravel. Look.
Gravel, you do see Enoch going to pick one called a Shrieker, which are the mushrooms that scream when touched, and you kind of dissuade him from doing so.
Yeah, I'll like pull them away since I know that there's like a radius on those sons of bitches.
Okay.
Yeah, not that one.
He's going to reach into his bag, grab one of his loose satchels, and dump him in.
Okay.
Little burlap sacks.
Okay.
Tie it up.
Cool beans.
Guys, let's get away from this landing zone. Seems like a high traffic area. Let's get off to the side here and one of the corners. We should probably talk.
That's a good idea.
You're not going to gather the mining gear up.
Okay. There's like 12 pickaxes and an assortment of clothes.
Okay, he'll take one of the robes, like the noble robes or something, and he'll throw a lot of all the pickaxe on it, and he'll
these robes
drag
haven't.
it.
Okay, these clothes haven't been taken off nicely either. They've been like torn. So they're torn. They're basically all like ruined clothes. Yeah, they don't look great, and they're stained with blood, dirt.
Yeah, he doesn't want to keep it. He just wants to confuse the people that are coming through.
Okay.
Like, oh, what is this? It's crazy. Where'd all this stuff go? So yeah, he's gonna attempt to haul some of it as much as he can.
Okay.
I was like, that was gonna weigh a lot. It's like hundreds of pounds of miner's picks.
I'm a Goliath remover. I'm a part giant. He'll hide the stuff in a tree or a mushroom tree that they get by.
Okay.
All right. All right, guys. So, what are we gonna do here?
Well, seems we need a lodestone to get out of here. So
Yeah.
where would we
Well,
go for that?
yeah, I think that should definitely be first on the list. What are you guys' thoughts on like what our mission is and how we should proceed?
Do we have them? Are we okay? Are we going to try to look for these people? What? I don't know.
I believe we're here to stop the Children of Malice as much as we can. If they've already got the whole under Rosohna tied up with bombs, then I'm not sure exactly what we can accomplish here.
I think our best bet would be to find the locations of as many bombs as we can, to find out how many there are and as much information as we can. I don't know how exactly we do that.
No, this might be because I don't have any emotional or connections to what's going on around here, but it seems like the quickest way to achieve this is try to find one of those lodestones, come back, travel through, don't even worry about these assholes, and just break the archway that we came through.
Well,
We don't.
Suggestion? Why anybody coming through here? Sorry, not anybody and not everybody, but surely somebody coming through here is going to have one. Do we hang around and wait for someone, or do we just wander off and go looking for someone?
That's a good question. I mean, we do want to go in here further to investigate, see what we can find out. But what I'm saying is, first thing we try to do is get one of those lodestones,
I
and
agree.
then if
Absolutely.
anything, turns sideways, we just come right back here and go through and destroy the gate. Like, I don't think we should take any big risks, especially if we have to go against one of those things again.
There are no more of those things, I asked. Unless the man we spoke to didn't know, which is admittedly possible. But there shouldn't be any more monstrosities. It's only the people.
Well, fair warning. In the Underdark, there are a number of monstrosities.
Fair
Not
enough.
necessarily the same, but... All right, so, I mean, if you guys don't have an issue with my thoughts on the matter, that's how I'm feeling.
I absolutely agree. We need a means of escape before we go in further.
I agree. We definitely need a lodestone. I am a little bit concerned about if we destroy the gate. I'm a little bit concerned that we don't know much about the bombs and how they're planning on how they're sending information between them. They could just be able to, if they had, say, the sort of thing that Lindak has, they could still possibly have people already in Rosohna, and they could set the bombs off early.
Well, I mean, we know that there are people out there that can just teleport wherever they want.
Yes.
We came in contact with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
If we see a person that's as powerful as that, then we shouldn't be aiming to fight him, regardless.
I agree. I feel like we're likely in over our heads. So I'm not suggesting that we need to fight them all right now. But I'm just we might want to be cautious about making the fact that we're here known.
Oh yes, yeah.
Because if they think that someone's here to sabotage them, I'm worried that they'll just put up, set off the bombs early.
So the best new objectives, we got about as much information as we can get from old dead bastard. So our objectives then would be find a lodestone and then figure out where we are.
Yes, that's definitely a good first.
Because once we figure out where this place is, then we might be able to come back regardless of whether we destroy that archway. Or we can at least tell people where this is at.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Lindak?
Yeah, absolutely.
Enak, you got some thoughts?
I worry about us just waiting. What if the group that we had taken down before was the only group coming from that direction? What if there's multiple areas? What if we wait here for days and...
Why don't we put a limit on our waiting time then?
Well, we can't wait here for days. They did say that if they didn't come back within a certain period of time, they would detonate the...
They're already going to detonate within a week, so we have very limited time, regardless of what we do with the people we,
So it was just a day ago for us. I mean, for our characters, but for us, it was like a bit of time. They told us that it was if they didn't report back within 3 days.
3
correct?
days, yeah.
Okay, so we've got
2 days
this
at this
day.
point.
Yeah, 2 days. Yeah. Okay.
How long did he say this location was? He said that once you cross the gate, there's like a certain amount of length until you get to their hideout. How long was that?
I don't recall him giving an actual specification. No.
Okay.
No, you just said it was a 4-hour walk to the special door.
Yep, that's all he said.
Okay.
All right. Well, we don't know how long it'll take to get to where they are. And we can't count on the messages that we sent to reach the right people quick enough. So while we are trying to achieve those 2 objectives, the third objective would then be to try and stay in character and report back. Probably with like some information, just in case they have dibs on some of that stuff. Maybe say that some adventurers showed up and we had to kill them.
That seems
and they destroyed the beast, the monster.
I think that's probably quite risky because this is a secret organization that we don't know much about. We don't know.
Oh, I'm just saying if they ask. I don't say we give.
Oh, if they ask. Oh, yeah. No, I thought you were saying go in and specifically try to.
Talindra, could we? Is there a way that you could? We could do this from the inside out, where you offer your allegiance to your cousin, and he takes us in, and then we work to destroy them that way. I feel like I'm not a good actor. I don't look like an elf or a dwarf. I don't know what they're. I haven't seen many Goliaths.
We could try that. Although I'm just concerned that they would be suspicious about you all. And I don't exactly know why he wants me specifically. It seems odd. We're not close. I think the guy did, Justin, the guy did say that he wanted me for me to join. Is that what
he said? Yeah, okay. He said Zen only cared about you. He wanted to kill, and then the rest were just disposable. Basically, kill the rest. Only, yeah.
Tal, based on what I've picked up from, pardon me for assuming, but nobility, and he kind of gestured toward you. Names mean a lot, so having a person of your name to their cause would bring more followers. So maybe that would be the reason.
Perhaps.
Is that not Zin's last name as well?
It is, and I'm not exactly a well-respected member of my family. But I suppose it could be the reason. Or perhaps they want me because I'm in God, I'm blanking on the word. Because I'm traveling and because I could give them information.
Maybe that's the reason they wanted you. You're not like the others. You're easily malleable. You're easily broken to a cause because you aren't.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I'm not saying you
I don't think
are.
I'm malleable at all.
I'm saying that may be what he is assuming because you did break away from your family. That you would be easily swayed against them.
Perhaps he thinks that. I don't know.
You can charm the pants off some people, so might want you for that as well. It's not.
There's a lot of very powerful people in our family and in the nobility. I don't know that he would specifically want me for magical abilities, but perhaps.
Oh, when I said charm, I didn't mean in the magical sense.
Oh.
I just meant you're charming.
Oh, well, thank you.
You'd probably bring a lot of people over to their cause if he happened to sway you.
I suppose, yes. Yeah, it still doesn't quite strike me as the reason. I'm not quite sure. I feel like we're speculating, and I honestly, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We won't know anything really until we dig deeper. So,
but I certainly would be willing to do that. But I think that's probably not our first option. I think we should avoid contact with them until needed.
try
But
to put up
certainly
this guy's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Certainly, if we do come in contact with them, I'd be willing to play it off like I've been meaning to join them.
But we can't kill. That we can't kill some of their rank. We've already killed some. If we want to deceive them into thinking that we're part of the cause, you can play into your people attacked us on the surface. We found the means of getting deeper. I mean, if we continue on this track of killing and then we get caught and then you try to deceive by saying that, no, we were looking for you.
Fair enough.
It's a harder point.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that these robes will buy us anything more than a few seconds of people letting their guard down. So we could use these robes to take them by surprise without having to sneak around.
Yes.
We still try to sneak, but if it's almost guaranteed we're going to have to fight them. So we should be ready to fight so that we can actually take advantage of the surprise that these robes will give. Though, that is something we might have to weigh at the moment. Maybe we should have a code word.
Try to think of a good one.
Like slippery.
Slippery. Oh, that is good.
Slippery.
Yeah, those rocks back there were slippery, and then we all attack.
So do we wait? Do we wait here and for some time and then continue moving? What are we? Are we just waiting here then for some time?
No, I figure we should probably get moving. It'll be weird if they just see us standing here. If they do find us.
Wait, is there a trail? Road?
Yeah, it looks like there's some foot
There's no like visible trails that you can like follow, but there are like footfalls, like tracks you could follow that look like
That's a trail.
humanoid tracks. Yeah.
Not sure I quite understand do we have a plan at this point, or are we just moving forward?
We have a list of objectives, right? So we've got find
so we
lodestone,
want the lodestone.
find out where we are.
Okay.
And then the third one was we just established it, I think. It was
Take them on.
Take them on if you have to.
Come on.
Yeah.
Do we want to do that, or do we want to try to convince them that I want to join?
I don't think that
we might have to feel that out based on our interaction.
exactly. We won't know until
which is why we have a slippery.
Slippery, right? So we'll interact with them, try to pull that, and if it goes south, slippery.
Yeah.
Okay.
If things just have a hint that they're not, like, if anything just slightly goes sideways, we need to. Oh, well, if any character. If anything slightly goes sideways, yeah, we should be ready.
Right, of course.
be on the alert.
Should I wear the mask at all if we're just going to play it off like I'm me?
Oh, I would say wear the mask, and then if you do want to play it off as you can take it off.
Okay.
Depending on how you're feeling in the moment. It is a card that you can play. You don't have to play it, though.
All right. I'll have to come up with a good reason why I'm wearing the mask, but okay.
Well, everybody else does, right?
They're all wearing masks.
Yeah. I guess I've already been in contact with their people up in the mines, maybe. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Well, you could be honest and say that you were attacked.
I'd be worried how they might react to that.
Yeah, all of them seemed like
Said we were
fodder
ambushed.
anyways. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I could say I was ambushed, and
you could be indignant about it.
yeah,
What kind of
that's true.
operation are you running here?
Exactly. We were approaching, you were approaching, and you got attacked by the people you were approaching. That's
They
not
need,
cool.
yeah, they
I
need
cannot
you more
believe
than,
this.
yeah, they need you more than you need them at this point, right?
This is the worst run secret society I've.
Exactly.
What
Yes. Okay.
What is
What kind of
your
crazy cult is this, anyway?
what is the who do they follow again?
Zin.
No.
Oh.
Lolth.
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 Yes.
The Spider Queen.
If they have
Mhm.
questions about us, you could turn us, or you said that you could tell them that you turned us to the
To Lolth.
Lolth.
Or you could say
I
we're
could
all
certainly-
charmed. You're
Oh yes, that's how.
Well, then they
Definitely
would just
not.
kill us, though.
I could just recharm you. I can do it.
I
Well,
mean, she
I can
has
only
the
do it once,
ability.
but they don't know that.
If we came here as your prisoners, they would just kill us.
That's true. They probably would. I'll just say I turned you to Lolth.
Might be a little bit safer.
You believe
Slightly.
about this Lolth. Okay. What does she
Spider
look
Queen.
like?
The Spider Queen.
The giant spider with a lady torso.
That sounds horrific.
yeah.
Well,
I
we
don't
don't
like that.
worship her anymore for reasons. They said these
She's
reasons.
scary. She sounds scary.
Yeah, when you're talking about child sacrifices and stuff, that's probably some pretty good reasons to not.
Oh yeah, Lolth's all about sacrificing male children. She only cares about
Yes.
female children.
No, we worship the Luxon now, and it's far more civilized.
That's right.
Anyway,
Okay, well. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's
Following the
see what we
footfalls.
got.
Okay. Who's leading?
Gravel.
All right.
Lindax. Lindax at the back.
Okay.
So Gravel,
actually-
Enak, Talindra?
Mm,
Or Talindra
Yeah,
should be
wondering.
in front of Enak.
should I be in
Yeah.
front since you're
yeah,
my?
I'm thinking,
Yeah.
but Gravel's also he wants to kind of be scouting stuff out too, because I mean he does have some familiarity with this type of environment. Not exactly, but he wants to be useful.
Well, the plan is to say that I trust you. So I mean, it's not too,
Mm.
much against the story if you go ahead.
That makes sense. And he gestures for you to take the lead.
Oh no, I meant if I mean I could take the lead, but I suppose I'll take the lead,
Okay.
and I'll kind of look around. I'll I'm not as observant as Gravel, but I'll still try to look for things.
All right. Perception check. And you have dark vision, so that helps.
Natural one.
Doesn't right now though. You don't see anything.
There.
Just
That's where we start.
too
Mask.
many glow. Yeah, the mask doesn't help. But like too many glowing mushrooms. It's just very distracting to look at.
Overwhelming.
If I, I am sort of having a hard time seeing ahead of me. So if you wanted to go ahead, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
opposed.
Well, here, you stay in the lead, and Gravel's going to pretty much be parallel to the path they're taking by about
Okay.
10 feet, and kind of just moving through the mushrooms and stuff so that it looks like it's a group of 3, and he's going to stealth and travel along with them
Make a stealth check.
just in case. And then that way, if someone says slippery, it's like another hidden person that might
Okay,
be
make a stealth
attacking,
check.
so, okay. That is a 23.
Okay.
and so he'll kind of keep an eye out from
Okay.
there
And you all
while traveling along.
continue down this path, quotation marks path. All right. An hour passes. Nothing. Just walking. You do hear weird chirping noises, but you look around, you don't see what it's coming from. They sound far off. And also the ceiling's a mile up, so of this cavern. So
It's like a second sky. Jeez.
essentially, yeah. You're
Can I do rituals while I'm walking, or do I
yeah,
have
totally.
to be like?
Yeah, no, you can.
Can I, like, as we walk, just do detect magics every once in a while to?
Keeps pinging off that crystal.
Oh yeah, so I can feel it all around.
Everybody's magical equipment, and some of the mushrooms that Enoch picked up.
Okay, but do I feel the crystal? It's coming from Lindak's bag, right?
Correct.
But I don't
Yeah.
feel it like anywhere else.
But it also radiates from the mushrooms that are some of the mushrooms in Enoch's bag.
in Enoch's bag. Okay.
Mm.
All right. I just do that occasionally as I'm
Enoch
walking.
picked up magic mushrooms. All right.
Literal.
Another
Fun.
hour passes. Nothing. You can hear like creatures that live down here like screaming in the distance and moving around in the distance, but they're not close enough to be a threat. Gravel, you'd hear the familiar sound of hook horrors, which are big old weird underdark birds with big like hooked hands. You can hear them in the distance chirping and screaming. The start of your third hour, up ahead, there is an abandoned campsite. You can see remnants of 3 torn up tents and where a fire was set. It looks like the campsite was attacked by something. There's dried up blood smeared over the tents and bedrolls. The campsite was erected under one of these very tall glowing mushrooms, most likely to provide a light source to look for approaching predators. 4 bedrolls have been spread out around the fire, where some chains have been staked into the ground. And a whole foot of a drow up to the knee remains in one of these shackles. Like whatever was left, the other half of that drow was like whatever. That's the only piece that remains of that drow. Everything else was forcibly removed. And that's about 60 feet ahead.
Does it look like something attacked the whoever took that last group prisoner type of thing?
You can't tell. It just looks like the campsite was attacked. So that could have been the last group. It could have been another group.
Gravel's going to do a perimeter check.
Okay. Perception check.
Okay.
Like how far out from the campsite? The 60 feet?
How far out is the light?
From the mushroom? 40 feet.
Okay, he's going to be
30,
outside of
30 feet bright, 15 dim.
Okay, he's going to be outside of the light. So
Okay.
he's just going to do a perimeter check
Okay.
in the darkness.
Sure.
And I got a dirty 20.
Nothing at this point.
Okay. And he's doing
Like nothing
that while,
nothing near the perimeter.
Okay. He's doing that while everybody else
Okay.
can try something if they want.
Well, Enak doesn't know that's there. That's 60 feet away.
Oh,
Yeah,
Right.
I assume we're walking towards it.
I
correct?
would still be walking towards it. Yeah.
Stealthily, quietly. Just
I'll be a bit stealthy until I feel confident that there aren't any people.
okay. Anyone trying to quietly approach the campsite, give me a stealth check.
Bother.
My God,
Wow.
this is the second natural one I've had.
And I believe it's only
6.
you two stealthing, so that's the group check for this one. So
It's still
natural one.
Well,
Now,
yeah.
for ability checks, just so you know, natural 20s and natural 1s don't always mean failure and success. That's just for attacks. Fun fact.
okay.
So with a natural 1, what is your stealth?
7.
Okay, never mind.
Enak rolled a 1.
Oh, you did too.
I rolled a 2 minus 1. So
Okay. And Lindak.
6.
Okay.
Yes.
You're very noisy getting there. Like
Mhm.
there's like mushrooms all over the place, like weird terrain you're not used to. You kind of step on one of the mushrooms accidentally, and it lets out like a meow, like a squeak toy when you step on it. It's like,
Whoa.
oh,
Cute.
Like a baby shrieker.
yeah, a sprouted shrieker. But nothing in the camp kind of moves or anything. It's still in the camp.
Alright.
Enak's gonna go searching around the prisoner bedroll areas.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same thing, looking
Um,
for a lodestone.
Okay. All you guys can find in the campsite are 4 crossbow bolts that look like they've been shot. They're like embedded in like some of the trunks of these mushrooms nearby. And those of you in the campsite, I need perception checks, please. So that's everyone but Gravel.
Come on.
And this is more hearing than sight.
I rolled an 8.
Much
An
better.
8?
Oh my god. 24.
24. Linda?
And
10. Enoch, you're the only one who hears this. And you kind of like look to where the sound's teaching you, like not teaching you, but showing you. And
Yeah.
in that big glowing mushroom, there are crevices about this wide, only a few inches wide. Give me 1 second. Sorry, about 4 inches wide. And immediately, 6 of these strange creatures pull themselves out of a 4-inch narrow space. But they're about 3 feet tall, but they fit in a 4-inch narrow space. And you see these subterranean-looking predators. They're small and spindly, really rubbery limbs. They look like they have. You can tell they don't have bones, but it's more cartilage and a very flexible internal structure. Hence how they got into the trees and everything. I need everyone to roll initiative, and Lindak and Talindra have a surprise round, so both of you are surprised. So Gravel and Enoch are not surprised, but Talindra and Lindak are. As 6 of these creatures come crawling out of the tree, and to give you an image on what they look like, I will be posting what they look like in the group chat.
My dice are cursed today.
Oh
Ew.
God! Ew.
Yeah, they can
Ew.
they
Like
can
that.
fit into 4-inch narrow spaces and they're like
Oh.
3 feet tall.
I don't like that.
know.
I don't like
It's
that.
all cartilage. It's all just like.
Yeah. Whoa.
Ew.
So imagine that pulling itself out of a 4-inch hole. Gravel, you're about 40 feet away, roughly.
I would be about 50 feet away if I'm outside
Correct.
of the.
Yeah,
if
you're
I'm
about 50
outside
feet
of
away. But you can
the-
see these things.
Okay.
Because what's your dark vision?
120.
Yeah, you can see them. Cool. Tilly, what'd you get for initiative?
8.
8. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Enoch,
12.
Lindak,
15.
Gravel,
22.
22.
Nice.
So, Gravel, you're first. Lindak does not have a turn this round. Neither does Talindra, because you're both surprised by these things crawling out of the trees. So you technically don't see them yet. Gravel.
Is there one closest to Talindra?
Oh yeah, there's one
He's-
closest. There's one close enough to everybody except
Yeah,
you.
he's gonna aim for the one closest to Talindra since
Sure.
He knows she squish.
Yeah, it's like they're like that mushroom tree has a really big radius. It takes up most of the center of the campsite. So everyone in the campsite is within 5 feet of that tree.
All right. So he's gonna do a short bow attack.
Okay, so you do get sneak attack on this.
Advantage?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. All right. That is an 18 plus 7. That is a
25.
yes. A
Because you're hitting.
25 to hit.
25, yeah, hits. You sink it in one of these it's like rubbery limbs as it's coming out of the tree, and you get it like right in the shoulder. Just
All right. That is 6, 7, 8. 14 piercing damage.
so you aim for the shoulder to see if you can prevent it from hitting Talindra. You miss a little where you wanted to hit, and you get it right between the eyes, and it drops it dead as it comes out of the tree.
Huh. And then he goes and
It's like
uses his movement to reposition and bonus action hide.
Yeah, go for it.
And that is, ooh, not great. That's a 2. So plus,
Yeah.
so 12.
Yeah, you feel like you hid from them.
Mhm.
All right.
Oops.
Lindak is surprised it doesn't get a turn. That thing's dead. The one is going to leap out of the tree at Lindak and make an attack. Surprise attacks, you don't get advantage, I don't think. Yeah, no.
No.
You don't. So it's just going to attack Lindak with 2 tentacle attacks as its arms go like.
Unless you would consider it hidden.
Yeah, it was hidden.
Then
Boom!
yeah.
Advantage! Doesn't hit anyway. It's going to do a second tentacle attack with one of the other arms. That's a 19 plus 5 to hit. 24 to hit you, Lindak.
That hits.
Okay. It just... you take 6 bludgeoning damage. And you take 3 piercing damage. And you are grappled by it, which means you are restrained. So it just uses its rubbery limbs to just wrap around you with like a big hug and just go...
Okay.
Oops.
So grappled and restrained. And it's going to use its aberrant quickness feature that it gets once per short or long rest. And it take another attack action, which means 2 more attacks on you with its other tentacles. Just... restrained, so it's with advantage. It's a 17 plus 5 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
You take 7 bludgeoning damage and 5 piercing damage. And it gets a second attack because attack action. And that is a 19 plus 5 again to hit.
That
Damn.
hits.
For 4 bludgeoning damage and 5 piercing again. Just... It's like walloping you with its weird, like, spiky, sticky hands. Just... That'll bring us to another one who's going to see the big guy and leap at Enoch.
Enak is going to, as a reaction, the moment that it gets within range, I'm going to take the brace maneuver.
Okay.
So I can expend a superiority die and make an attack.
Okay, go for it.
At the
As
creature.
it's leaping through the air at you.
Okay. Uh, 18 to hit.
Oh, that definitely hits, yeah.
Okay. Where is this at? Here. Superiority die. So 2d8. No. Yes, 2d8 plus 3. Damn. 17.
It leaps at you. What weapon are you using?
The longsword.
You just slash it. You bisect it down the middle, and just both halves just kind of hit you with the momentum of its leap, and it just breaks apart as it hits your body. You're just covered in viscera and gore and like half-digested drow.
Enak is disgusted.
So it is just dead. All right, to the next one. Is gonna seize that. It's like, and it leaps at Talindra. Surprise. Talindra. That is a 22 to hit, 18 plus 5.
Oh yeah, that hits.
You take 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And 4 piercing damage. And you are grappled and restrained by it as it wraps its arms around you. And that was 1 attack, right? Yes, so it makes another attack now that you're restrained. Natural 20.
Good. Great.
7 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And
We
7
must
piercing
protect her.
damage.
How many piercing?
7 as well.
7. Okay, so 14 damage.
And it's going to use its aberrant quickness as well to do 2 additional attacks. Just
On me?
Yeah. It can only attack the people it's grappling.
Okay, well, I'm probably not gonna... Okay, we'll see how it does.
15 to hit.
Ooh. Yeah, that hits.
Oh, okay. You take 6 bludgeoning
Okay.
and 6 piercing.
Okay.
You have 1 hit point.
Yeah. Sure do.
So it's going to attack one more time. Its final attack.
Okay.
21 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're unconscious.
Yeah.
Just in its arms, and it's like it drops with your body.
That's why I went after the one next to her. Shit.
Okay. All right. Enoch, it's your turn. There's one like on Talindra's body, preparing to have a feast. There's one wrapped around Lindak. Gravel's 50 feet away, getting ready to shoot some arrows at the other. How many ever are left? There are 2 pulling themselves out of the tree still, so there's still 2 in the tree. And
So we've
2
killed
have been
2.
killed. 2 have been killed. Yeah.
Okay, so there were 6 total.
Is my math wrong? Hold on. Yep, 6 total. 2 dead, 2 on people, 2 in the tree.
Okay. Enak is going
And
to.
they can hit a lot,
Yes.
but they can be easily killed.
He's going to run to Talindra.
Okay.
And he is going to.
It is the one on Talindra is technically prone because it's on the ground with her, like ripping on her.
Yeah, he's going to. He's not going to heal Talindra yet. There's too many baddies. He's going to go for the one that is on Talindra.
Okay, with advantage because it's prone technically.
Okay. 18 plus 6 is
24.
Yep. Thank you. Max damage 8. 11.
Okay.
Slashing.
Still standing, but barely.
Shit.
It's like blood's like spurting out of where you slashed it. Like you definitely nicked an artery with that. Well, they don't even really. Do they have arteries? They have to have arteries. They just don't have bones. When you cut into it, like when you cut in that one, when it like splashed you, it didn't have bones. Whatever its bone structure was just pure cartilage.
There's nothing else I could really do.
Divine Smite.
Yeah, no, not yet. God, there's not enough spells for
Because
this.
I can't. The chances of me hitting it are pretty bad because I have disadvantage because it's prone.
Yeah, that's true. Fuck, Axe and Surge. Let's just do it.
Okay.
And he's gonna go for another attack on it. Oh Jesus! Another 18.
Yep. How you want to kill this one? How you want to kill this one? It's 2 hit points.
He's gonna remove the head.
Okay, just as it like leans back screaming, you just and its head like sails off into the mushrooms like a golf ball.
Okay. And then for his bonus action, he is going to cast Shield of Faith on Talindra's body.
Okay. What does that do?
So she gets a +2 to her AC.
Okay, so she's got 17 now. Or 16.
Just in case. And he's going to take a defensive position between her and the creatures.
All right. Talindra, death saving throw.
Yep. That's just pure 20, right?
Yep, just roll a d20.
17.
Nice. 1 success. All right. That'll bring us to the other 2 still in the tree. It's going to leap out and attack Enoch.
Okay, another brace.
Yep. Make an attack.
Fuck these dudes.
Yeah, you just had your turn, so you get your reactions back. So.
Yep. So that's a 12 plus 6 is a 18 to hit.
18 hits.
8.
Leap through the air again. Right at you.
10 plus 3 is 13.
13. That one is also cut in half down the middle. Just and you get coated in more of this viscera as its momentum just hits you, and you just get covered in grossness. Then the last one is, since one's already with Enoch, the last one is going to jump out at you as well, Enoch. Just and attack.
Gotta take this one.
It misses. It goes to hit you, and it just like slaps into your shield and armor, and it lands at your feet, 3 feet tall. Back to the top with gravel.
You said that the other one is grappling Lindak, correct?
Yep.
And it's wrapped around him and stuff?
Yep, so he's restrained as well.
If it's restraining him, is it also restrained?
No.
Okay. I am going to use my bonus action to plant my feet and...
Steady aim?
Yes, steady aim, and try to hit this thing.
The one that's on Lindak?
Yes, the one that's on Lindak.
Go for it.
And that is a... so that's 21 to hit.
Hits. Roll damage with sneak attack.
All right. That is 2, 4, 6. Oh, just 1. And 14 damage.
All right.
Damage.
Into the temple, and it just kind of goes slack, and falls off a Lindak dead. Just Lindak is no longer restrained or grappled.
Thanks, Gravel.
You shout from 50 feet away.
Yeah.
Yep. Gravel stays quiet.
Okay. Anything else, Gravel?
Nope, that's his action, bonus action, and movement.
Okay. Lindak, it's your turn, and there is one in front of Enak who is standing over the dying Talindra. She's covered in these weird, like, puncture marks from its tentacles.
How far away are they?
Like 10 feet.
Okay. And this is the last one that's left.
Yep.
Okay, he's just gonna walk up
Okay.
and swing his sword. 21 to hit.
That definitely hits.
7 damage.
All right. You cut off one of its limbs, but it's still standing. Like
24 to hit.
that hits. Cut off its arm. Fuck you.
11 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Just basically slice her down the middle.
Okay, you cut its arm off. Its arm goes like sailing into the mushrooms nearby, and then you just come down with a big arc down the middle and just, and it just kind of goes. But because Talindra is making death saves, that's the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think so. Just a sec. I don't think I have anything I can help.
I don't believe you have healing spells.
No. Why?
Enak, the last one's been dealt with. Talindra is behind you.
That was a waste of a spell. Lay on hands, 5 hit points.
So Talindra, you come to consciousness with 5 hit points.
Correct.
And as one of these creatures split open, there was something glinting and shining in its organs.
Yeah, it's gonna go fish it out.
It is a vial with a red sparkling liquid. It is a potion of greater healing.
Ooh.
Can anybody help me at all? I'm like way below half hit points.
Combat's over. Okay.
Yeah, combat's over. Yeah.
Enak's gonna offer. Enak's gonna give a potion of healing to.
The one you just found?
No. Potion of healing that he bought.
Right.
He'll give that to Lindak.
Okay.
I
Hey
have
guys,
one
do
of
we
those.
want to?
Oh.
Do we want to take a? Do we want to take a moment to rest? That was pretty close. Those little bastards did a number on you two.
I wouldn't mind taking, unless
We
we
might-
feel that we need to move quickly. I mean,
I don't. I would like to think that they probably accounted for the dangers of the Underdark in traversal, but
Wouldn't mind a little rest.
Yeah. Patch you guys up.
I'll hand Enak back his healing potion.
Oh, thanks.
Let's just take a rest.
Okay.
Man, what were those things? And Gravel will think, has he seen or heard about anything like that before?
History check. Or nature.
Okay. I'll do history. 7.
No.
Yeah.
At least not in your area of the Underdark.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I've never even heard of anything like that.
Yeah, they're really weird. They're very rubbery.
Maybe we should get a name for them. Have any of you heard about something like that?
Oh, sorry, Talindra, when I did that natural 20 on you, it felt like it was choking the life out of you, like you were beginning to suffocate.
Sorry, I'm doing math. What was that?
When it got the critical on you, it felt like it was closing off your windpipe and suffocating you. Because that's what they do when they get a nat 20. They suffocate people.
Okay, so, okay. Good to know.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those. If they exist this in the ground in the Underdark, I've never been here, so I don't think I've seen anything like that.
Yeah, like
I'm on the Overdark. I'm in the
pokey,
mountains.
pokey,
Clutchy,
rubbery,
grabby hands, grabby claws, grab claws.
rubbery.
What's rubber?
They're noodle arms. See them?
He's gonna pick one up and he's gonna like shake it.
Yeah, it's real rubber.
Like how you do a pencil.
Yeah, it's like that, but actual rubber.
Can he? He's gonna like
Really good. So it only took 3 dice back to full.
Gravel. Hey,
Yeah.
try to hit me with this like a whip. He's gonna give it to Gravel. I want to see if
Oh.
it works. He's gonna break himself.
I mean,
do it.
If you, hey man, look at that.
Just do it.
It's like a cat of nine tails. Oh yeah, okay.
It's fine.
Roll me an improvised weapon check.
Okay. Improvised
For a
weapon,
melee.
That's that would be the same as an unarmed
Correct,
strike,
yeah, because you're not
correct?
proficient in improvised weapons.
All right. As an 8.
It hits, but boonk doesn't really do anything. It just like bounces off of you. Just doonk.
Oh. Okay.
Sounds like someone's hitting you with a hot dog.
Are they like stretchy?
No, they're just really
Okay.
compactable.
He's gonna smell it.
It smells like shit.
He's gonna toss it.
Probably taste very rubbery if you.
It's all cartilage, yeah. No
He's
meat.
gonna try to
Man,
clean the blade. He's gonna use some of the tent to clean the blade and
Yeah,
his.
the tent's already got blood on them. Who cares?
Yeah, he's gonna clean the.
Okay.
his-
things are so weird. They've got like spiky palms and
You can get a sense these are what killed the people who camped here.
Ooh.
And when you look at that leg, it wasn't bit off or anything. It was more like these things gripped and just pulled everything off of the knee.
Oh.
Oh, that's horrible.
Because they were shackled into the shackles, so they couldn't get the foot out. So it just
Fuck.
and they probably scurried into that mushroom crevice to eat.
Is there like a
Gravel's gonna-
campfire?
There was. It's both.
Do they have like any cooking gear?
There's like a few like pots and pans left behind.
Do they look good quality?
Yeah, they look fine. They're a little rusted in places, but they're not like disgusting. I mean, there's blood splattered all over them too from the carnage.
Okay, not worth
but-
it.
Because it wasn't just one of them. Gravel's gonna carefully go back to the mushroom that they came out of
Mhm.
and check inside for nest or anything like that.
Okay, perception or investigation.
I'll do an investigation. That's a 23.
You don't see any more.
Do I see any remains?
No.
Probably, probably like just shit at the bottom of it.
Mostly just like fecal matter.
Okay. All right. Cool. Gross.
By the way, I totally forgot I had this, but remembered when I was looking for health potions. But I asked the guy last time to draw me a map. I don't know if it was a map of this specific location or if it was just.
He never got a chance to draw the map.
Oh.
No, I gave it to. He didn't finish it.
No, because he got stabbed through the throat.
I thought he was like. I thought. Okay. All right. All right. I'll get rid of that then.
Sorry. Now
That's okay.
you're interrogating him the entire time. You didn't have time to focus.
We were
on
kind of
drawing the
talking
map,
to him.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, you guys got any? These poor bastards leave anything else behind?
Yeah, really crappy kitchen set.
That's it. Yeah, pots and pans, the 4 crossbow bolts that have been stabbed into nearby mushroom-like trees, or tree-like mushrooms, and the greater healing potion that you found.
Oh. Lindak, you take the other potion of healing, and I'll take the big one.
I do have one.
That's okay. You could have 2.
Well, thank you.
So then we all have one except for Lindak, correct?
Lindak has 2.
2.
Everyone has a potion of healing.
Yeah.
I have a potion of greater now.
And then,
I replaced mine with.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a mechanics thing, but if we know where each of us has our potions, do we have to use an action to take the potion off of them?
You don't have to. You can
give
just
it
use
to
your
them
action.
to feed it to them.
It's an action just to give them the potion. You don't have to use an action to pull it off and then an action to pour it down their throat.
Okay, so we can use the potion that they have on them in order to.
Yeah, you don't have to.
bring
You don't
them
have to like spend 2 actions to heal somebody like that. You can just literally walk up to their unconscious body and just glug 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 glug. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it gets silly.
All right. Cool. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah.
Mechanics wise.
Yep. And I never do the bonus action potion rules because that can get a little fucky. That's what people do.
How are you guys feeling? Tal, Lindak?
I'm good
feeling
now.
better. Yeah, I'm feeling better.
All right.
Good as new. Little rest never hurt anyone.
Of course not.
All right, we better get. Y'all ready, Enak? Okay. Sorry, you made a face earlier, and I was just like, I was trying to be gravel and noticing a face that someone makes, and it's like, you all right? What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
Do I need to do an inside check on Enak?
I don't know. That's your decision.
All right.
Continue forward. Are you taking the cooking utensils or are you leaving those behind?
Oh, they're rusty and crap, so leaving those behind.
Okay, and no one uses a crossbow regularly, but there are 4 crossbow bolts that can be retrieved from the nearby.
I'm good. I've got like 130 or something.
Okay, never mind. All right. Yeah, all it really is here were those cooking pots, the potion, bolts, and the foot. If anyone wants a drow foot for their equipment.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I had to think about it just for a little bit. Well, I mean, actually, gravel will take it.
Okay. It's minging. It's seen about, at this point, about a week of decay. So it's about, because 7 days or so it's a little decayed and stinky.
All right. What do you guys think? Should we take this with us just to try to, because some of the stuff that we might encounter down here might not necessarily be smart, might go for the easy meal. So if we throw this, might draw them away.
I don't know what we are likely to run into, so it seems you know more about this than
You can carry
I don't know.
it.
It's weird because this could either draw bad things to us or we could use it to draw bad things away. So it's kind of a toss-up, kind of a group decision.
Just leave it. We'll bring it and we'll just use it if you think it would be objectively smart.
Can we smell it from like a distance?
Oh yeah.
Like from where we're sitting?
Yeah.
Like after
it might look a little odd if we
week old
get
rotten meat.
well,
Yeah.
it's a mix of the week old rotten foot, the shit that spilled out of these things. This campsite smells even worse now. Like digested meat.
I'll leave it
spilled
entirely
out
up to you,
into the
Gravels,
campsite.
if you want to carry that.
It'll be
I
interesting
know.
if they catch us to explain why we took the. I guess we'll just tell them.
Well,
it
they're
was-
kind of evil, right? We
I
just
suppose,
say
that's
that
true.
we used it to.
We just took your
But
friend's foot.
Regardless, I'll probably leave it behind. I was just tossing it out there.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
He'll kind of assume the same marching order
Okay.
that he
Yeah,
did
you can
before,
find
which
those
is
footprints
parallel,
again.
but-
The footprints look like they scattered, or tried to scatter. You can see that one of the individuals, probably not someone who was chained up, because clearly they're going through it with a chain. Like the people were chained together, obviously. You can see where one person who wasn't chained, most likely probably one of the escorts, ran off in the opposite direction, deeper into the mushroom kind of forest. Whereas the others just booked it ahead. Still with the chain gang. So you can follow the guy who went into the forest by himself, or you can follow the group.
Can we tell from footprints, etc., how many is in the group?
A lot.
More than 10?
More than 10.
Okay.
So, do we want to try
Any-
to?
Like most of it looks like it's part of the people who are chained up. And there's probably it, and then you can see that maybe there's like 4 people escorting.
Mm. Well, we definitely want to avoid large groups. Perhaps it might be best to see what happened to this poor fella that went off by himself.
Yeah.
We might be able to interrogate the person if we find them.
Yeah, it's been a good amount of time, but just in case, I think
I think
You
that's
guys know.
safer.
see what happened to this poor sap, and then
Okay.
go from there.
You follow the
With any
solitary
luck,
Yeah.
tracks. Okay.
this guy'll have a lodestone, right?
That would be very convenient if he did.
Any one of these guys could
Yeah.
have it, right?
No, I mean that, and yes, that would be good if he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you push off into the little mushroom forest. After about 20 feet, the tracks end in a pile of dried blood. And
They just end abruptly.
yeah, and there's like a stream kind of trickling. And in this stream, you can see a pair of big, glowing yellow eyes just looking at you all.
Sorry, a stream?
Yeah, like a
Meaning
river,
like
like,
from-
like a river a little bit running through. And you can see
Okay.
these tracks kind of end just at the edge of the stream. And there is a massive pool of blood and gore where those tracks end. And you can see a pair of big yellow eyes in the stream itself, just lurking and staring at all of you from the water.
Are they like reptilian type eyes, or are they?
They're big.
Hey, it sounds like water.
And you can all hear this.
Hey,
Like
never mind, that
big
doesn't sound like
monstrous
water.
breathing coming from the water.
Nope, not water.
But you get a sense the drow that ran away was probably eaten by that thing.
That might be a bit too big for us.
What, the water?
No,
Oh, there's something in the water.
the thing that got our friend here.
Like maybe a toad?
You can give me perception checks if you want to try to figure out what it like. Try to look through the water surface to get a better look at it.
Maybe we should just go.
I'd say let's get out.
Let's go
I
back.
mean,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a chance there that a lodestone could have been on that guy. We'd have to cut this thing's gut open to find it.
I mean, we could do that if you want.
If we get
Can
in
we
another scuffle, we won't have much left in us. Is the only thing.
Yeah.
can we tell from his clothing that's left,
There isn't any.
or is the clothing just
Nothing
blood?
left,
Eh?
just blood and guts.
Okay, you can't tell anything from that except that he had blood.
But
Sorry, did you say it was a perception to
if you
find
wanted
out what it?
if you wanted to peek through the water and linger, yeah, you'd be lingering.
Oh, I
forever.
didn't want to like go right up to it, but can
No,
I
you
tell
wouldn't be
from
going
like
up
the
to it,
sound
but
it's
you'd be
making?
standing here like for a decent amount of time trying to figure out.
Okay, never
So
mind.
it's up
Then.
to you if you want to just linger and look.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
Let's go. Come on, Del. Let's go.
Damn it. All right. You all. No
It
thanks.
seems
And-
way too dangerous. We don't know.
And yeah, so
The
its
other
eyes are
means
its
evil
eyes are probably
always.
like each eye was about this big. So big enough to still be concealed under the water.
So we could kind of tell that this thing was what, huge class?
Huge. Basically about
Yeah.
the same size as that crocodile you all fought on the
Fuck
raft.
that.
Yeah, big fuck that.
Okay. So you just like nope, doop, 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 and you go back to the campsite and find the bigger grouping of tracks.
We're those kind of like lazy adventurers where it's just like, not too hard. No, we're not gonna
Nope.
do that.
Hey, we could say
There's
that
no
we
profit
are,
in it, man.
Yeah,
we're
no
finding what happened to our
Yeah.
dead compatriots.
Yeah.
So if they have questions, maybe we could pretend to be brave.
Yes, pretend. Of course.
Well, I'm brave. I didn't see it, so I don't know what it was.
It was very
Yeah.
large.
Yeah, consider yourself lucky. All right. Well, I suppose we go follow the larger group then.
Okay. So
We
yeah,
try
you
to be
guys
more. So, go on.
been down here for 4 hours or so. 3 hours trek to get to the campsite and an hour for your short rest. So you got about 4 hours left in your day. And then
You know, I take one of those glowing-
traveling at least.
Can you take one of those glowy mushrooms out and start like fiddling with it?
Yeah, it's glowy, warm, green, blue. It's like a
When no one's
it's like a glowing
looking.
turquoise.
When no one's looking, he's gonna break a little piece off and he's gonna slip it in his mouth.
Okay, roll me a d10.
Oh. Oh.
You're the one to do this. You got all the con
6.
saves.
6. You eat it, and it tastes like shit.
Must
But-
do.
You feel your mind kind of expand.
Ooh, psilocybin, man.
Oh.
You gain the benefits of the telepathy spell for 24 hours.
What?
So, yeah, you can talk to anyone. So read what the telepathy spell does, 'cause it's brutal. You create a telepathic link between yourself and a willing creature with which you are familiar. The creature can be anywhere in the same plane of existence as you. The spell ends if you are the target or no longer on the same plane. Until the spell ends, and it's an unlimited range, by the way. Until the spell ends, you and the target can instantaneously share words, images, sounds, and other sensory images or sensory messages with one another through the link, and the target recognizes you as the creature it is communicating with. The spell enables a creature with an intelligence score of at least 1 to understand the meaning of your words and take in the scope of any sensory messages you send to it. That's for 24 hours you have that.
At least one. Wow. You
Oh.
can talk to anything.
Anybody.
Um,
Only one
You could
person,
ask
though.
that.
Only
You could
one
ask
person.
that. You could ask that monster if it's got any digestive problems that we could help it with.
You know what else? If we did want to turn around, I could also do a detect magic to see if it has a lodestone in it. I realized after.
Oh. You'd have to get within like 10 feet of it though.
Yep.
right?
Oh, well, we were quite far from it.
Stay there for 10 minutes.
The bank, yeah, you're about 30 feet away from it.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, that would be a little bit of a risk.
10 feet would have been about where that blood spot was.
Yeah, okay, not great, not ideal.
So yeah, that's what you feel, Enoch. You just feel, I can talk to any one person. You bind this to one person for 24 hours. As long as they're on the same plane of existence as you.
This is the worst person to have this.
And if they're willing, they have to be willing. So if they're not willing, they're like, "Who the fuck is this going against?" Well, they'll know it's you when you reach out. But yes,
Hey, Gravel.
It sound like a whisper in my brain.
did you do it with the telepathy?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do this.
Out loud, he's just like, "What?"
You should eat one of these mushrooms. They're really cool.
And can I get the idea that I can communicate back and just mentally communicate?
Let me
back
look
to
at
him?
telepathy here. Yep, you guys can both instantaneously share words, images, sounds, and other sensory messages through this link.
Enoch, is that you? He says, "Enoch, is that you?
No.
What is this?"
Yeah, it's me.
Oh. Those are some weird mushrooms. Be careful.
Okay.
I'm on your right, by the way, if you couldn't tell. I'm a couple of feet away.
Oh.
More than a couple. But I'm I'm keeping an eye on you guys from the shadows, so this is probably good that we can talk without,
Should I tell the others?
Oh, you could actually just say slippery to me through your mind. Wow.
I don't know how long this lasts, but I feel like it lasts for a while. Should I tell the others or no?
Sure, why not?
Hey, Talindra, Lindak, I've just got really super powerful, and me and Gravel can talk to our minds now.
Oh.
Watch, whisper something to me. Talindra, whisper a word to me.
Oh, slippery.
No, not that word.
Not
That's
that
the good
one.
word. He's gonna think that it's a bad thing. Something else.
Okay, all right. Other word. Mushroom.
That's so generic. Something that
I
he
looked
wouldn't.
around and it's the first thing I saw. Just
Pick a word that you think is that Gravel should know.
he should know every word.
Well, you know what I mean, like a secret word that
Elvish?
that only you know.
I can I say mushroom in Elvish?
Totally.
I say mushroom in Elvish.
She says mushroom in Elvish. Say this to her next time you see her. To Talindra. Okay, let's go.
Gravel just says, "Mashallah." Mashallah.
I'm a bit confused. How did this happen?
No, you know me. Sometimes I just get really strong. Don't know how, don't know why.
Mushroom in
You
Elvish
had-
is Blaloth. Blalath.
Blalath.
Okay.
That's weird. Blalath.
I wasn't too far off.
Nope. Nope.
Is this have something to do with your goddess?
Probably. She's super strong.
Oh.
That's who I should have talked to.
Wow. Have to be on the same plane of existence, but you don't know that.
That would have been epic. Oh,
No answer. Oh.
Would be so sad.
that's quite exciting.
Yep. You want mushroom?
No, I'm
Okay.
all right.
He ties it up, puts it in his bag.
Okay. And I assume this is all walking and talking.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Another hour passes. Nothing happens over the course of that hour. You're following these tracks. Nothing happens. Another hour passes. You're at 6 hours total. And you come to a tunnel in the side of a rock face where glowing mushrooms are clustered around the entrance. In the path that you're following, these tracks don't go into the tunnel, they go around it. And from the entrance, you can hear like, and then like scurrying.
Like an animal sound? You think?
No.
No, like a person sound?
Like breathing, yeah.
Okay.
But like not like ragged breathing, like, and then like little.
I don't see anything with my dark vision.
Nope. Well,
Okay.
The tunnel it kind of like twists and turns. You can't really see.
Oh, I see.
But the people you're following did not go inside. They went around this massive rock face.
Did you all hear that?
Oh yes, everyone heard it.
Yes. Yes.
Do we follow them or do we go with the group?
I would think we would go with the group, right?
Yeah. Do we want to keep stopping for every monster we come across?
No.
All right.
Chances are creatures probably won't have a lodestone.
All right, I suppose we keep moving.
All right.
You do not enter the tunnel.
We do not.
We do
Sorry.
not.
Are you trying to sneak past the tunnel quietly?
I'm
Yes.
Always.
Stealth check.
yeah, I kind of assumed we were doing all of this kind of
Stealth
somewhat
checks
quietly.
everybody.
Gravel always sneaking.
You got disadvantage.
Whatever it
That
was, it
a-
sounded like it ran deeper into the tunnel. So
I
maybe it
rolled a
won't even
4
hear you.
twice.
Okay. Enoch.
A 1.
Uh-oh.
I rolled a 2 minus 1, so a 1.
Grapple.
Again.
17.
Talindra.
25.
You guys sneak past. You don't hear anything following you.
Cool. So glad you guys are sneaky.
Yeah.
And as you're passing, there's like a little breeze that kind of comes out of the tunnel. And it's just a stench of decay.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, the tunnel
The way
farted.
that you said that was
Yeah.
the smell of dick.
That's
The smell of dick.
Spell of dick, eh? It's Canadian,
The A was a bit delayed in my mind.
That's funny.
You were like,
Well, I heard it that way too.
But
I
yeah,
did.
no, you do not
Okay.
smell. You don't smell dick. But you smell decay.
The decayed dick.
Decay dick. Yeah, the worst kind. All right. So you pass the tunnel, and you pass the glowing mushrooms that were around the entrance. All right.
Okay.
You keep walking. Nothing's following. And that's hour 6 total. You have 2 hours before you start getting exhaustion for travel. No. Because of the short rest. So 3 more hours and you'll start getting exhaustion. But an hour passes. And as you start to break through this cluster of mushrooms that you've been traveling through, because this has basically been a forest of mushrooms. You see a long stone bridge that stretches over a deep chasm, and you can see heat rising up and like orange light rising up from the chasm. The bridge is about 10 feet wide, no railings because it's made of stone, and stretches 120 feet over the chasm.
What color was the stone, the crystal again?
Lilac.
Lilac, okay.
But coming up from this chasm is a hot heat, like kind of it's making you guys sweat from this far back, and the light is orange.
Right, okay.
And you can kind of hear bubbling.
And the bridge is just a flat arc going across.
Yep,
Like
10
there's
feet
no
wide,
rail.
120 feet across.
10 feet wide. That's not very wide.
Nope.
Oh, man.
And this is, you look at the tracks you've been following through the mud and dirt. They went across the bridge.
Can we see across the bridge? And do we
Yeah,
see
you
them?
can see across the bridge on the other side. It's more of a mushroom forest.
Okay, we don't see them though.
No, you do not.
Okay.
Anyone want to peek over the edge?
Yeah, gravel will come from the side because there's nowhere for him to
There is
really
not, yeah.
be sneaky on this one. So he just rejoins the group and is like, "What do we got here?"
Check her out.
Big old bridge.
And he looks over.
You look over the edge. It's about a 300-foot drop into a lake of lava. You're about 10 miles down, so yeah, you're going to be dealing with lava at some points. But yeah.
Well, if the fall doesn't kill you, the lava will.
18d10 if you fall in lava.
I am like keeping as far back from this edge as possible, and I'm just like looking at the bridge, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
When Gravel looks down, does he see anything? Anything?
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry, you do. You see a creature swimming through the lava, a big orange lizard, and loads of brilliant lilac-colored sparkling gems nestled near this lake of lava 300 feet down, like right on the edge of the lava. They look similar to the one that Lindak has in his backpack.
So how far did you say the drop was again?
300 feet.
300 feet.
How? Well, I don't know how long the bridge is. Never mind. Enak is going to take a little bit of rope, and he's going to go
Over
to
the
Talindra and wrap a few bits of rope around Talindra's waist. Tie a knot.
Yep.
Make sure it's nice and secure.
Oh yeah.
I do have feather fall, but it doesn't work with lava.
Yeah, no, you'd land in the lava and just be like, ah!
He's gonna hand.
Just so you slowly see your death coming.
Oh, that'd be the worst.
Preemptive death. He's gonna hand her his hand axe.
That'd be a good way for torture. Just kick somebody off and cast feather fall on them.
If I fall in, you cut yourself free. With this.
Okay.
And yeah, landing in lava isn't like landing in water because there's none of that like surface, whatever it's called. So you'd hit it like you're hitting a solid surface.
How long is the bridge?
120 feet and 10 feet wide.
It's only 10 feet.
Yeah, Enak's gonna do it. The rope about 10 feet, and then he's gonna tie him. He's gonna tie it around himself. No, he's gonna wrap it around his arm a few times, like a.
That explosive stuff is down there by the lava.
Do we want to get some?
No.
Okay.
No,
My thinking was is on our way back, if we find a lodestone, I could fire a couple shots down there, see what we can do to this place on our as we run
Did the
away.
cultists tell you how big the blast radius was?
Yeah, they did. They did say,
350
but
feet. Yeah.
You said 350.
350.
Yeah,
we could make it.
And it's multiplied for every crystal that blows up in that radius. And there's about
but it's only 300 feet away.
And there's 15 down there, so it'd be 350 times 15 for the blast radius.
Oh, okay. So that would be suicidal.
Yeah, it'd be like.
All right.
Yeah.
Unless we left like some type of slow fall like trap.
Yeah.
Put feather fall on the bond that we have.
No, we do the Liamon's tiny hut.
So just so you can like, if you want to do that.
Oh yeah, and then wait
it's about
for the hut to disappear.
it's about 5,000 feet in a mile. So 350 times 15. Just to see how big that blast radius would be if all those blew up. The blast radius would be 5,250 feet. It'd be a mile wide blast radius. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't know where we are.
Yeah, that's a big.
We could be under. We could be
that would reach
under
the.
Rosohna
That would
right
reach
now.
the ceiling of this tavern. And the damage is also multiplied per crystal as well. So it's literally like setting off a bomb, and that's just 15 crystals. Yeah, you don't know how many they have under Rosohna.
Yeah.
We're under. We're over. nuclear bomb, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And then if you guys get caught in the blast radius, the one in Enok's pack also detonates.
yeah, that's right.
Not Enok's,
That's very true.
Lindax.
Yeah,
Enoch
Lindax
isn't
is
being
right.
around that thing. Yeah,
That's right.
Fuck that.
Boom.
So yeah, if Lindak falls, I do have the math in check what the percentage is. I would lower the percentage of the crystal that Lindak has exploding because it's been kind of covered with blankets. There is still a percentage if there's enough kind of like force that could explode.
Well, that's scary, considering they're right next to lava. I am kind of curious if lava would detonate them if
Doesn't
they're
seem
that
like
close
it.
to it.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't seem like it, or it would have blown by now.
Or at
Well,
least
they're
some
not
of
touching. They're
them
not
might
touching the
have.
lava or anything. They're like
Oh, still, you don't have to be very close to lava to get
Yeah.
really hot. It's hot, and even 300 feet above it,
oh yeah,
we're gonna be sweating like.
oh you guys are
Yeah.
sweating already. Yeah.
Curious though, because we still don't know how to, I guess, disarm these things.
Right.
If they're that close to lava. They might be more resilient than we think, maybe. But
Or maybe they're just resilient against certain things. Maybe heat doesn't. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
I think they
Doesn't
could
look
like withstand
like-
against a fireball, but not necessarily piercing or.
Well, I mean,
Point.
this is where they naturally occur.
Mhm.
So if they're near the lava, it must be a place where they would naturally be.
Do they look natural, or do they almost
look
look like
natural.
they're arranged in a farming type
They
of
look
positioning?
natural.
Okay.
They also look like they've been down there a very, 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 very long time.
Perhaps the lava is somehow part of it, part of the magic.
And you said the lava was a
Lake.
lake,
So
not
it's,
as in
so
like
it's not running.
moving.
It's not moving.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just bubbling.
Okay.
And there's a big old lizard-like creature swimming through it without issue.
Yeah, that is interesting, Tal.
I don't know. I'm just speculating based on what I'm seeing around me. I don't know as much as you do.
I don't know as much as you see. I don't. Yeah. We're all kind of poking around at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I
We're
suppose
getting farther and farther behind, guys. Should we get going?
Yeah, that's Linda. Yeah, we looks like we're probably gonna have to cross this thing regardless. So
Yep. Usual order.
you said this bridge was stone, correct?
Yep.
Are there any support beams or structures on it?
Nope.
It's just like so
10 feet wide. It's only just
architecturally.
It's about
there's
this
like
thick.
no support, but it's about
This thick, and it kind of goes like this into the other side. So it kind of like has an arch into the other side.
Okay.
So that's really all it has for support. There's no like pillars or anything holding it up.
Okay.
It's like Bridge of
So
Khazad-dûm style.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's so the art. Oh man, that's actually a really cool image. So like the stone on this thing, the arches for it have to essentially go all the way. Like it's just one big huge arch in order to support this thing,
Essentially,
right?
yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Cool.
Bridge of Khazad-dûm, yeah.
All right. Well,
Who's first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
You're
which means
attached to me.
Talindra second.
Come on, Talindra.
And you can't see.
I can see 10 feet. So
Sure.
I know the edges.
Yeah, you can see the edges. Yeah, you're just like, ugh. And every step you take forward, more of the bridge gets revealed.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Super
It's so
creepy.
creepy.
But it's the best person to do it because he can't look down. So he's not going to get freaked out looking
Well,
down.
the sound of the bubbling would kind of allow you to perceive what's down there, but not see it.
And the heat.
That's fine.
Rise
And the
and
heat, so you can tell
Perfect.
it's a lava lake down there.
He's going to be walking right in the middle, fucking straight ahead in
Okay.
a straight line.
How's Talindra handling that?
Not well. She's like,
His arm
she
is.
tries to like take a step back, but like to like calm herself, but then she gets pulled by the rope. She's like, ah. She's just, like,
Montal, it's
holding
okay, I
on
got
to-
you.
Yeah, it's
I'm
okay.
trying to watch Enak to see how he's doing,
He's
but
doing
I'm also
fine.
very
I
distracted.
can't see anything, so he's just like, okay.
Well, when Tal kind of stumbles, sort of, Lindak will come up behind her and just
Okay.
maybe
120
not put his hands on her, but put his
Okay.
hands there.
120
sure she
feet
doesn't fall.
isn't really a long way to go, but in this
And
sort
he'll
of
just
circumstance,
walk.
it feels like a long way to go.
Mhm.
But Lindak, if Talindra, you guys can get across fine. Gravel, you can get across fine. Nothing like the bridge doesn't snap in half. A bay lore doesn't come from the depths. Lord of the
Dang.
Rings style. You all
good.
cross to the other side. And
That was hot, man.
Before you-
Holy cow.
is a winding and stretching path that reaches deeper into this underground fungal forest. You can hear what sounds like running water and in the distance. Large 60 to 100 foot tall mushrooms scatter out amongst the area and resemble trees of a plethora of colors, and each emits a dim 60-foot light, and blinking orbs of numerous colors also float through the air.
Does the sound, it sounds like an animal, or does it sound like a kind of like ambient kind of noise?
It doesn't sound like an animal. It sounds more ambient.
Oh, so like a sort of humming, like
Groaning.
Rusty door or hinge or something that's just kind of
Like
in a
wood,
breeze.
like creaking
Yeah.
wood. And those orbs, you guys have seen will-o-wisps before? Those aren't will-o-wisps. They're just sensory effects floating around.
Before we get too far away from it, I know we spent a lot of time on that lava lake and that bridge scenario. I just wanted to say that was really fucking cool environment setup you did there, and we ended up RPing a shitload around that, even though there wasn't like an encounter or anything associated with it. I just
exactly.
thought it was freaking cool. So I just want to say thanks,
Yeah,
Justin.
yeah.
No
That
worries.
was cool.
No one fell either, so also
Yeah.
good.
yeah. These orbs, do
Yep.
they look like natural, or do they look like my dancing lights sort of?
A mixture of both natural and your dancing
magical.
lights. Almost like it's errant, untamed magic. It's just kind of
Gotcha.
floating around.
Does it, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Because dancing lights, a person has to be within a certain amount of feet of dancing lights.
Yeah, I
like you
figured
said.
it wouldn't be actually
And
literally dancing lights, but maybe like something
But
someone had
it looks
set
like
up
someone's
for-
cast dancing lights, but there's nobody around that could have done it.
Okay.
Yep. And just the constant groaning sounds in the distance, just like wood groaning.
I don't like that sound.
And then the running water sound.
All coming from ahead of us.
All around, actually.
Sorry, do we see the stream, or is it?
You can just hear it coming up from ahead.
Okay.
And you guys have been traveling for 6 hours. But you technically have so it would be 7 at this point. So you technically have 2 more hours to go before you'd have to camp up.
Tal, what do you make of all this?
It seems like a lot of wild magic. That's not the sort of magic I'm familiar with. I don't think. It's similar, but not tamed.
Do these orbs or whatever come close to us?
Nah, they just kind of float 20 feet in the air, just kind of around.
Okay, so
there's hundreds of these
touch one.
orbs that kind of just blink and move throughout this forest.
Not close enough to touch. So.
No, they're about 20 feet up.
If anyone's worried about it, I could try to detect whatever I can from the surroundings, but it will take me some time.
Can you do it while we're walking?
Oh yes, I could do that.
All
No,
right.
let's just keep on walking.
So what
Oh,
do
let's
you
keep
are
walking.
you doing detect magic?
Just a ritual detect magic.
Okay.
Gravel's gonna get back into position, moving parallel with the group while
Sure.
remaining hidden, hopefully.
Okay.
And he's gonna go through, and I haven't said this in a while, but I'm gonna establish it again that he's gonna cast non-detection on himself as well.
Yep. All right. So as you guys are walking through this winding path, Talindra, your detect magic goes off. All of those blinking orbs give off what's the right spell school here? Yeah, evocation.
Evocation.
Which is dancing lights is also evocation.
So that's usually like when you kind of like make something appear. That's evocation, correct?
Technically, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the same. Spell school as dancing lights.
Okay, so it's just like a wild version of that, it seems, or like something someone set up.
Yeah, or just like again, wild magic. And some of these trees, these big, massive, 80-foot tall, etc. trees, also give off transmutation magic. Not all of them, but a few of them. About 2 or 3 currently within 20 feet.
Transmutation, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's one thing turning into another, correct? Transmutation?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay. Do they, because you said it was wild magic, you said that the crystal was also wild magic, wasn't it?
It's also errant magic, yeah.
It's errant magic. So that's the only thing.
Uncontrolled magic, essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 or 3 trees in this vicinity. Out of like the numerous trees of this size, 2 of them ping transmutation magic.
I can see them within range.
Oh yeah, they're still.
Do they look unusual?
No.
I just tell everyone, be careful of those 2 trees. I don't know what's going on with them, but they have some sort of magic.
Okay.
Just maybe stay away.
Carl's gonna take a pebble and toss a pebble at one of them from like 20 feet away.
Okay. It shifts and uproots itself.
Immediately, it just kind of
Gravel.
peels off and starts going away.
Is it coming towards us, or is it just like shifting?
Yeah. It's
well, I wasn't with them, so hopefully.
Well, it's going towards where the pebble hit it.
Yeah.
Just
Gravel's gonna reposition and then say to
stealth
Enoch,
check. Stealth check.
Just don't make any large.
Yeah, the 60-foot tall tree just uprooted itself.
I'm ducking behind whatever's near.
Yeah, if everyone wants to hide from this tree, stealth checks.
That's a 24.
24. It goes to where you were and just lifts up these massive limbs that have shaped into fists and just leaves a 10-foot deep crater where you were standing. Just... And then
5.
5. It kind of sees you stand. It turns and sees you kind of standing nearby, but it senses you weren't in the angle to throw a pebble, and it just kind of turns and walks back to where it uprooted itself and goes back to being still and looking like a tree.
All right, he says to Enoch.
What was that?
Talindra, give me an Arcana check, or if you can try to determine what spell is being used on these 2 trees.
Okay. Oh, 21.
Most likely the Awaken spell. So those trees have been given sentience.
Okay.
And they hit hard enough to leave craters behind. So
All right.
you get the sense if it detected gravel would most likely be a puddle right now. Yeah.
So gravel's a bit away from us at this point?
Yep.
How far away are you?
Not super
He
far
would have
away.
moved. He would have moved kind of diagonally away from you guys. So if it did follow him, it would pull
Right.
away from you.
But
So he's still away, but he's communicating with
you
you.
get the sense don't mess with the trees.
All right, I guess
What
I
was that?
stand.
That was a test. Simple
Every
test. I
test.
figured it
That
would
was
be
so close to being
non-aggressive.
so close to being a combat encounter too.
Test over. We know what they are now.
Avoid the trees.
What was the trees? Okay.
Big ol' awakened mushrooms that have the texture of trees. Yeah.
Mhm.
Ravel changes his positioning from being on their right side to being on their left side.
Okay.
As he sort of passes, I say, "Remember when I said don't touch the trees?"
I didn't touch them.
No, admittedly, you didn't touch them. That's true. That's
Oh
true.
boy, that could have been bad. 3d6 plus 4 on a hit.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Um,
And now we know.
so it goes back to kind of just root itself where it uprooted itself. And yeah, the path continues forward, winding and turning. Like it looks like this is like a man-made path at this point. Like they were like cutting down like little bits of foliage, almost like they knew not to fuck with the trees.
Do I know this spell enough to know whether that tree would be able to communicate with its creator?
What'd you get? It was like a 20 something, right?
Yeah, I got a 21 on my Arcana.
So you would know that this spell only works on creatures that have no intelligence score, or 3 or less usually.
Okay.
It gains the ability to speak one language its caster knows. If it's a plant, it gains the ability to move its limbs, roots, vines, creepers, and so forth. It also gains similar senses to humans. And if it has been awakened by a caster, it is charmed by the caster for 30 days. But you get a sense it's more than just these two trees in here, so it's probably more of that wild magic, just errant, just weird magic that animated them and not a caster.
Okay.
Otherwise, the caster would have been spending a lot of monetary gems to do it, because it's also
So when I felt it, when I did my thing, it came off as that.
the same like weird, wild kind of uncontrollable
Right.
magic. Yeah.
Good to know.
I'm just thinking of that scene in Wizard of Oz
Mhm.
with all the
Yeah.
trees throwing apples.
Kind of like Bumping Willow too.
Or the Ents from Lord of the Rings.
I was thinking Ents actually.
Yeah, me too. When I was
Mm.
the groaning. Yeah. Anyways, do you continue forward,
Oh yeah.
avoiding
Yes.
trees,
Avoiding
those
the
ones.
trees.
pulling a Gimli and saying sorry?
Yeah.
All right. After about another 2 hours, you can kind of feel the exhaustion set in. But you come to a massive river that spans about a mile in width and stretches off into the distance as far as the eye can see before rounding a bend towards the west and sloping downwards to the east. Across the river, but on the other side, you can see another small dock, but it's kind of ruined and collapsed into the water. Oh, I forgot to mention you guys are on the dock. I don't know why I said... Oh, yeah, here you go. Sorry. Nestled against the river on your side is a small dock that has recently seen some activity, with some oil lanterns having been lit. There's a small single rowboat tied up to the dock, and you guys have traveled for a total of 9 hours, so any more travel after this, every hour will be exhaustion, unless you take a long rest. And we're going to take a quick break here, because we don't have to end at 10:30 tonight, so... We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 5-10 minutes. So everyone go to the bathroom, get drinks and everything. We'll see you all very soon.
All right. Woo.
Right.
Hello, everyone. We are back from our little break. You all have passed through the mushroom tree forest. Gravel was almost attacked by one of these trees, which could have been a little bad. And you guys have arrived at a dock, at a river, underground river in the Underdark, a mile-wide river and also an unending river in lengthwise. The other side of the dock or the other side of the river, the dock on the other side has been like crumpled and ruined and is underwater. It looks like it hasn't seen a boat dock there in like years or more. You can actually see moss growth on the dock, so you can get a sense whoever you're following didn't cross the river. They went either upstream or downstream. But you guys have been traveling for about 9 hours. So any travel after this, people will be making con saves to see if they get exhaustion.
Is there any campsites?
There is
Obviously
not.
nearby?
There's the forest and the
Is there a
boat.
clearing we can use?
There's the dock.
I have my
Okay.
hut.
You have also a tiny hut, correct?
Okay.
Are we ready for a hut?
So you can bunker down in camp, or you can continue on your trek and possibly suffer exhaustion. The DC does go up by 5 every hour you travel without exhaustion.
Once we get on the river, we probably can't get off it again for a few hours. So I think we should rest.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just reading the spell to see what it looks like from the outside.
You can't really see in it from the outside.
Oh,
Pretty much.
does it look like there's just nothing there, or does it
No,
It's a color.
It's a color.
You pick a color.
any color? All right.
Yeah.
So you get as close to the surroundings.
So if you like go into the forest enough, you could kind of conceal it better than you would if you just did it on the dock.
Yeah, I might do
Because
that.
if somebody has dispel magic, they can just point at the dome and dispel it.
Oh yeah, good.
I believe
It's
you can
not very
dispel.
high
I
level,
believe
is
you
it?
can dispel tiny hut. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you
Are we ready
have
to
true
rest?
sight, you can actually see through the hut.
I guess
sure.
unless someone tries to stop me, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
start casting.
You can cast spells on the hut. It just blocks spells going through it. So you can cast dispel magic on the hut itself to make it go away.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I start working on the ritual.
Okay. Anybody else? It's a 10-minute ritual, right? Or a minute
Yeah,
for tiny
yeah,
hut.
Well, it's the casting time is 1 minute, but I think if you
10
cast
minutes.
it as a ritual,
Yeah.
it's 10 minutes, isn't
All
it?
right. Yep.
11.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I do that. I make it whatever color is most appropriate to
Okay.
be not seen.
Sure. Like a brown, dark brown.
Yeah, like a brownie or a gray kind of.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
that.
Okay. Is anybody else doing anything in those 10 minutes?
Gravel's just gonna scout out the area, make sure there's nothing too dangerous near us. Like he's gonna check the trees and stuff to see if there's any like dangerous animals like the things we fought earlier.
Not here. You get a sense these possible animated trees do a very good job of preventing that kind of shit in this area.
Okay.
The only thing that might be hostile is those trees if they get mad.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, he spent the.
So as long as
spent
you
a
don't,
good amount of time.
as
to
long as
just
nobody
scout
looks for
that out.
firewood, you'll be okay.
Mhm.
Anybody else, Lindak, doing anything in those 10 minutes?
No, eating rations.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Relaxing.
All right. Yeah, the
And
10
maybe
minutes. Oh, what's up?
Sorry, I was gonna say maybe Gravel checks out the dock and the boat
Okay.
to check their status. And
Okay. Actually it's a pretty well maintained rowboat. Fuck, where are my notes? There we go. Yeah, it's a pretty well maintained rowboat with 2 complete oars. Enough room for 2 crew, so you need 2 people to use the oars, and enough room for 2 passengers. Your standard rowboat. Everything looks like it's in order. The dock looks like it's well maintained, and there's a lit oil lantern right here. So there has been people on this dock maybe within the
Is
last
there
like
Okay.
10
any
hours.
sign of like a hut or anything
No.
around that?
Just a
Like
dock. Just,
who is maintaining this?
you don't know, just a dock.
Gravel's gonna save the oil in that lantern and by just turning it off for now.
Okay. So it
And
just
that may or may not screw up someone that's trying to find the dock, but he doesn't care.
okay. Yep. Rowboat, so it has an AC of 12, 50 hit points. The oars are affixed to the boat. They're one of those rowboats that have the oars actually affixed to the sides, so the oars also have AC and health. But yeah, so the oars can be taken out so you can't steer. Yeah, little rowboat. It's 10 feet by 5 feet, so 10 feet long, 5 feet. Actually, hold on. 10 feet by 5 feet. It's 10 feet by 5 feet. Enough room for 2 crew and 2 passengers, so 4 people total, which is all of you. Just enough room.
Awesome.
But at this point, the tiny hut goes up.
And that lasts for 8 hours, so we better get in.
Yep, that's for 8 hours. Just enough time for you to do a long rest.
Mhm.
Right.
So we go in same purple kind of velvety get up as before.
Okay.
Enak takes the robe that he stole, the silk robe,
Mm-hmm.
puts it down, and falls asleep.
I give them a sort of gentle song to. Yeah, I need to get my practice in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You really don't need to do watches because tiny hut kind of prevents any of that shit. So, all right, you all sleep comes to each of you eventually. You each get the benefits of a long rest. However, Lindak, you have weird dreams.
Uh-oh.
Probably stemming from that crystal you have on your person, but you see images of the gods fighting. And you see an image of Lolth being cut down, and her blood seeping out into the entirety of the Underdark. And you all wake up, benefits of a long rest.
Grabo, can you hear me?
Can you hear him?
Yeah, it hasn't been 24 hours yet. It would, actually. When did you eat the mushroom? I don't remember.
It was after we left the camp, like just after we left that camp.
Okay.
So after we fought the chokers.
Yeah, so...
Be a
12
bit
hours?
before 24.
You're about 12 hours. You got about another 12 hours to go on this.
Grabo, can you hear me?
Yes. Is this gonna be forever?
Yes. Aren't you excited?
Yes. Yes. This is great. We should have fun with this. Yeah, I can't think of anything right now because I'm still groggy from the morning, but keep in touch.
Okay.
And the tiny hut disappears. The lantern is still off.
Are we getting on one of these boats?
There's only the one boat.
There's just one.
Mm-hmm.
Big enough for all of us, though.
Yep, just big enough.
How much oil is in the lantern?
Like that much. No, not a lot.
Not a lot?
To maybe keep it fueled for like an hour.
If it was full, how long would you anticipate it blasting?
Let me look up the rules for lanterns.
It's 8 hours?
I think it's 8 hours. I just need to double check because this is like I gotta see what lantern. Yeah, this is a bullseye lantern, so it's one of the ones you can.
Aim.
Yeah, because it does it in a line or a cone. It lasts for 6 hours
6
total. So whatever's left here is probably about an hour. Or no, it makes no sense. Yeah, actually, about an hour left of oil.
So what we could do with this, because we're probably going to need this if we're going to come back the way we came, right? Otherwise, we won't know how or where. So we have what looks like, and he holds up one of the oil flasks that he has. Probably around 6 hours to get what we need from here and make our way back.
I could summon Umbra, and Umbra could stand on this side.
Oh, and act as like a kind of a beacon for us?
Mm-hmm.
Are you comfortable with that?
I think so. I don't think anything can kill Umbra at the moment. I think Umbra's exists a little differently now. If that makes sense.
I mean, kind of, based on what I've seen.
Right. I'll do it. And he's going to sit down. He's going to grab his holy symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to spend 10 minutes
Okay.
in Celestial speaking and calling forth Umbra once again.
Flames kind of erupt on the dock, and coming out of the flames is Umbra, this flaming black horse.
And he like pats Umbra. And in Giant, he's going to tell Umbra that he needs to stay here to guard this area. And when he senses me, when you sense me, I'll be ready to go.
The horse kind of nods.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we have our beacon.
All right. So now the next question: upstream or downstream?
Downstream's less work.
The downstream looks like it slopes a bit too, like this. So if you want, you can give me a perception check.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Everyone can do this if they want, because it is a hearing-based perception check.
Ah, yes.
At 20 plus 5.
Damn.
30, 20.
Okay.
10.
Okay.
10 as well.
Lindak and Gravel. The downstream sounds like a waterfall not too far down.
Hmm.
And the upstream doesn't sound as waterfall-y.
How choppy is this water?
Not choppy, but
Deceptive.
yeah, it's like not at all. But you can kind of hear downstream a little bit, echoing off of like rocks and stuff, the just slight audible sound of a waterfall, and a big one at that.
Maybe upstream would be better.
Well, definitely will make the return trip easier, especially if we're in a hurry. So hopefully what we're looking for is upstream.
What are we looking for exactly? I guess just a person to steal a
Anybody?
from?
Yeah.
They did have a lantern lit on this end. Maybe they'll have one lit on the other end.
Maybe. Is it worth checking to see if there's anything here? I mean, there isn't any settlement or anything here. It's just the dock.
Yeah, you don't see any
Probably not
settlements.
worth
You haven't seen settlements at all down here.
Okay.
Probably too deep in the Underdark for settlements to be a thing.
I didn't mean like a literal settlement. I meant more like a camp.
None at all.
No. All right.
Okay, well, I'll steer and heave ho.
You need 2
You'll
people
just
to
guide
steer.
me. All right.
Who's the second strongest?
It says in the stat line. 2 crew, 2 passengers. So who's,
Well, I'll steer.
so who's helping Enoch steer?
I guess I will.
Okay. All right. So you untie the boat from the dock, and you get in, and you start to steer upstream, or row upstream rather.
Yep.
Okay. You're not fighting much of a current, which is also strangely deceptive because of the waterfall you heard. So you go upstream without much issue.
I'm still listening and looking around.
And it's a mile wide stream, so you can easily, there's like no current to speak of, so you can easily avoid like the rocks and stuff in the way. But yeah, it's a mile wide. And you're just going upstream, you're not going across. After about an hour just rowing, ahead of you, nestled upon the ledge about half a mile away, on the edge of a stony ridge, is a large fort made of black stone, or dark stone, wood and iron. It's not the nicest looking fort, but still has a very ominous presence about it, where jagged spikes of metal jut out from all over the outer walls. Tall towers loom out over the ridge, and in the distance you can make out the forms of figures patrolling the ramparts, mainly due to the light being cast from lanterns on their sides. The fort is about 3 stories tall, and you can also make out the sounds of distant screams of agonizing pain. There's a winding path ahead of you that leads towards the fort through a cluster of glowing mushrooms and jagged boulders. So basically you're getting to the end of the stream. And where you can see other rowboats have kind of been pulled up and docked here. And yeah, you're about a half a mile away from that fort.
Well, looks like where we're going, guys.
Yeah, Enoch, there's a fort ahead, and he'll kind of explain.
Yeah, when that
You
scream,
could show me. You
when
could show
that's-
me pictures
yeah,
to
you
your
can,
mind.
you can actually send them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just go.
Click, click.
And
Whoa.
yeah, you've got about 10 hours before that telepathy.
That's funny. Mental images.
What is our plan here? Are we just gonna walk right into this giant fort?
Well, we
Can
could.
we go right past it?
I mean,
Well,
We
the
could
stream
look
is,
around for-
this is the end of the stream right here.
This is where we're supposed to go.
Seems to be.
Yeah, again, we could look around for stragglers. Maybe see if any of them have a lodestone. Hell, as long as we might be able to just hang around some of the lackeys and maybe keep our mouths shut and overhear anything that, I mean, maybe they'll give away where the lodestone is, but
You said there were guards on the walls?
Yeah, but from this far, you can't tell how many. You're half a mile away still.
But they could see us on the river?
You get a sense, probably. But you are kind of hidden around. There are clusters of stuff and boulders here, so if you wanted to, you'd be sneaking up a little bit.
Okay. Sneak.
No stealth
Sticking
checks,
close-
you just need to
close
make
to
sure
the
you're
bank.
like... No stealth checks, because you're far enough away. It's just more of you trying to hide behind things.
mhm.
If you don't want to
Stick
be seen.
close to the banks, guys. Get a
Should
little
we-
closer.
sorry, are you thinking, are we going in with the, as cultists?
Well,
Well,
we'll have
still
to
wearing the
take
robes.
a look and
Yeah.
see what's.
I mean, ideally,
We're
we'll come
gonna have
across.
to pretty much play it by the seat of our pants here.
Yeah, ideally we'll come
Yeah.
across some stragglers that we can just take out and search for a lodestone, maybe
Well,
interrogate a bit, but outside of that, we're kind of gonna have to just get a little lucky because we're stuck here until we find one of them.
We can't see any people on the outskirts or anything like that.
No, it's
Not
like I
too
said,
far.
it's still about half a mile away,
Right,
so you
okay.
can't see anybody. Yeah, where the stream ends is a rock wall again, and there's boats like nestled up out of the stream here. As the stream kind of just ends here, strangely, and you can kind of like tell it actually goes underneath this large boulder and deeper down, like into a very, very deep, dark chasm, because you can hear the water kind of trickling down.
So I think I
and-
was thinking of this wrong. Is it on land then, like a mile or so or half a mile on land?
Yeah,
Or is it still okay?
you can't
I thought it
access
was
you
more.
can't access the fort through the water. You'd have to go on land and go up this path to get to it.
Okay. All right.
It's like specifically been designed not to be reachable through the water, and it's been put up on a ridge so they have a vantage point.
Okay.
That way people can't just sneak in.
Well, we can check the perimeter, take some time, try to go around the fort, check for any back doors. I mean, every place that I know of has some way to deal with their shit, sewer system, whatever. Maybe we can find something, but it might be worth the time. If not, I mean, at least we checked.
Will we even be able to get close enough without them seeing?
Hmm.
I'm worried if we sneak around too much, it'll look very suspicious. If we just walked up, they might not even notice.
Well, I mean,
let's get a little closer
I'm
and
all
take
right.
a look.
I'm
See
all right
how-
with being sneaky, so I mean, I could try to maintain that, split off from you guys for a bit, have you
Is there a lot
guys
that
be the front, and then kind of misdirect while I try to find another way around.
how much is there to hide behind around
The path going up, like I said, there's large boulders and trees and stuff.
Okay.
So the path up you can hide, but you don't know how well you might be able to hide actually when you get to the fort.
Right, okay.
Because you still don't have the best view of the fort.
Well, we
So
could
maybe- Oh yeah, go ahead.
we could sneak until we get to the point where we can't anymore. and
Yeah,
then-
that sounds, maybe we do need some more information before we make a plan.
All right.
All right. We'll just kind of sneak closer then.
Okay. It's half a mile away, so you're going at a slow pace. It'll take you a decent amount of time to get there, I think.
As we're going, I'm just keeping doing. Can I do dispel magics and sneak, or sorry, not dispel magics, detect magics, or would that be too much?
Vocal?
No.
No. Okay, so I'll just sneak them.
Okay. All righty. So, at a slow pace, you can travel half a mile in 15 minutes.
Okay. How close do we get before we can't hide anymore?
So we'll get to that. As you guys near the end of this path, you get to about a point where there's like a 300-foot radius opening around the entire fort, so no places to hide around the entirety of the fort outside, designed specifically. You can hear the sounds of mining and screaming more audibly from here, and you can see Drow that have been shackled up in a chain gang, and this entire 300-foot area that's been cleared out, these Drow are swinging pickaxes at glowing lilac-colored crystals and seem absolutely terrified while doing so. Surrounding this area of the fort are 8 gibbets, so kind of big hanging metal cages, where other Drow have been imprisoned and are screaming as 3 other Drow in spider-like metal masks and robes pass underneath and poke these imprisoned drow with swords, drawing blood with every poke. Not going into like do like lethal stabbing, just enough to cause some like blood. These lilac-colored crystal clusters are incredibly bright, and are three of these 20-foot diameter clusters. So the 20-foot diameter of these clusters in total, where 4 miners work per crystal, mining away. Near the mining setup are 6 crates filled with smaller pieces of these crystals and marked with a symbol of a purple spider looking downwards and resembling a face, which I will show y'all the logo that you see on the crates. Make sure I message the right group. That's the logo you see. You might want to click on it to get it pop up because it kind of blends in with the background a bit.
It's cool.
That logo is on each of these crates. And you can see more of these drow in masks patrolling the ramparts of the fort above, their lantern light shimmering off their metal spider-like masks. The 4 towers of the fort point upwards and are covered in jagged metal spikes. Through this makeshift mining camp, you can make out a set of large wooden double doors that are currently open, so the front doors, with more of these shackled drow move more of these mined crystals nestled into mining carts into the fort. The fort has small windows on each floor of the fort, but are too small to fit through. And you can see each of the patrolling drow on top have a horn on them that look like they could blow if anything gets fucky. It looks like the front doors could be easily barred if that's the case. And yeah, the 8 drow patrolling the ramparts have crossbows, and the 3 drow patrolling this mining area also have horns and crossbows. Yeah, it's 45 feet tall, the entirety of the fort. Each of the towers are 55 feet tall. Yeah, that's what you see.
Are we like hidden or obscured? Or anything?
Stealth checks, everybody.
Stealth.
Oh, wow.
So, Gravel, what'd you get?
21.
Okay. Lindak.
5.
Okay. Enoch.
10.
10. Talindra.
23.
Okay. One of the 3 patrolling on the ground looks over and in Undercommon speaks out and says, "Ugdakskbara," which translates to, "What the fuck you doing over there, pissing on the ground?"
They see you, Enoch. They're asking if you're pissing on the ground.
Can you yell for me?
Just play it cool.
He's gonna
Tell
turn in the
everyone
direction.
they see you, and you guys just play it cool. I'm gonna stay.
They saw Lindak and Enoch because they both failed really bad in the stealth check, so they see both of them.
Yeah.
And they're like gesturing you for to get over, like, "Go, let's go." And translates to, "Get the fuck over here. What have you been doing?"
See them, what are they saying?
He said, "Get over here." Ow, screw it. And Growl's gonna be like, "Yeah, hey, yeah, we're fine." And in Undercommon, coming over.
All right. Well, what's taking you so long? We've been waiting for you guys for a few hours now.
There were issues.
Well, get to it. It's your turn to patrol.
All right.
And those 3 go back into the fort and close the doors as the rest of the crystals get pulled in, and the doors just close. They don't get barred. They just close behind those 3 drow.
I say to Gravel, want to care to explain what they said?
This happened.
Oh, we just took over their patrol. All right.
Well, that's
Look
convenient.
lively. All right. Come on. We're on patrol.
All right.
March. I know how to do that. I'm a soldier.
in the time that we were getting closer to this, getting closer to the fort, would we kind of get the idea of how they were patrolling?
You just saw enough time of them to actually like just stab some of the people in the cages, and they would also like whip the miners. You get a sense that's their patrol. Abuse the miners until they get the work done.
All right. So if you guys saw what I saw, I'm gonna have to kind of mimic being dickheads for a bit. Maybe we could interrogate the prisoners and stuff. Ask them if they've seen anything that looks like one of the lodestones. Any other info?
Yeah, we could probably do that.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I want to cast tongues on myself.
Does it have somatic components or verbal components? Because if you do, they're going to see you casting a spell, and they're going to be like, wait, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, it has vocal and
so you get a sense
whatever
casting
M
a
is.
spell while in a disguise right now would not be the best idea.
Okay. I won't do that then.
Okay.
I'll translate if I need to. Because none of you guys speak Undercommon, right?
Nope. I don't.
All right. Well, I suppose we'll just need to go over and start picking on these guys. Are you all right with that?
Yes, the prisoners. Yes.
The prisoners range of all ages: children, teenagers, elderly. They're all Drow, and they all look like shit. Emaciated, dirty, in very ragged clothes, and each of them have shackles around their ankles and large iron collars around their necks.
Do they look like they have any like markings on the shackles and collars? No. Does it look like there's a place for a key thing, or is it like a?
It's definitely a key. And it looks like it's a very intricate lock.
All right. And it's for each person and each shackle?
Person entirely in each shackle, yeah.
So each person has like a collar and a leg?
Collar, legs, collar, and
both
each
legs.
ankle, yeah.
So each person would require 3
checks.
Checks. Oof.
And
How many are there?
every time one, a lot. Like too many to pick all at once. And yeah, they're all mining these crystals, and every time they go to hit one, you can see them, they're crying and screaming because you get a sense they've seen what happens if they do it wrong. Which also means if something does go wrong, y'all are in the blast radius.
Yeah.
Are these all Drow?
Yeah.
All right.
Children, adults, teenagers, elderly, they're all like here. So they weren't just kidnapping miners, they're kidnapping like just people in general to do this. And Talindra, you can actually recognize some of these people as just people you would have seen in passing in Rosohna. You don't know them, but you would have seen them in passing. Just some recognizable faces.
And the guards, where are they at?
They went back into the fort that were patrolling originally. There are now just the 8 guards patrolling the ramparts with crossbows and horns, and you guys do not have horns.
All right. Gravel's gonna kind of take the lead on this and be like, "All right, you miserable lot, keep working." Through his mask.
Intimidation check. Actually, don't even worry about it because they're already like fucked up. Okay.
the Fields, and they go, "No, I'm not gonna work."
And they're just like, they're still going. They're still mining. They're not talking. They're just crying.
Lindak's gonna go under one of them, just give people little pokes. He's not gonna like try and draw blood, but he's seen that's what the other
Okay.
guys are doing. So not trying to really hurt anybody though.
They cannot tell the difference.
Yeah.
And they scream and they go to speak, but no words come out. It just sounds like,
Oh.
and you kept the briefest glimpse of no tongues.
No tongues. Great.
On any of
I
them?
think that's the
On
idea.
any of the miners, yeah.
Going to be able to tell us much.
Is there like any place where we there are the guards like they can't see us at all right now, the guards?
Oh, the ones on the ramparts can most definitely.
Oh, they're on the ramparts. Okay.
The ones that were down here are not.
They went back
They
into the
went
fort.
inside
They went inside.
and left us in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Enoch, you're definitely seeing all of this, especially because of the sound that's just constantly going on here. It's just giving you full vision, essentially. There's just so much sound, you actually have your full sight, technically, here.
As much as you might not want to.
Yeah.
I kind of quietly say to Gravel, if we can get one of them alone, maybe we could see if they can write. If that seems worth it to you. I say that quietly to everyone, not just Gravel.
Yeah.
Stretch. And then look at the ramparts and everything and see how closely they're being paid attention to.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I don't think
they're making
that's
sure like
gonna
nothing.
work.
They're trying to make sure nothing blows up.
I think we're kind of stuck doing this until we get some other path inwards. And Gravel's gonna start moving towards the. He's just like, join me here, and he's gonna start walking over to one of the one of the carts that they're gonna be putting the gems and stuff into, and he's gonna move it a little bit closer to where the stuff's going on, and just kind of try to have a conversation with her while they're pretending to work, essentially.
One of the guards on the ramparts just says, "Ukapet, no," and just says, "Miners only do that. Don't endanger yourself."
All right. I guess don't touch anything. We're just here to intimidate the miners, but...
What if we find the miner who's doing the worst job and single them out for punishment, and then try to sort of we can make it seem like somehow make it seem like we're punishing them when really we're interrogating them, like trying to get them to
and talk.
I look around. Is there anyone you said there's people I know. Is there anyone I know for sure, is like a noble?
Oh yeah. You recognize a child that you've seen kind of once or twice at a dinner. You don't see his parents anywhere. And
I know enough to know this child definitely able to write. Definitely.
Oh, 100%. Noble,
okay.
Of noble birth, 100%.
Yeah.
What is the child doing?
Mining.
Okay. Is it currently next to any of the explosive stuff? Or is it just mining and then hoping to find the explosives?
Oh no, they're mining these crystals. They're all mining the explosive crystals. They're trying to get smaller pieces, so they make it easier to transport.
They're breaking the crystals.
They're breaking the crystals, yeah, and they're doing their best to hit it in certain spots where it doesn't detonate. Yeah.
You see someone you recognize?
That child over there comes from a den.
You pointed?
I didn't point like that, but I kind of did like a little like you know.
And Gravel will noticeably point and be like, "Yeah, that one. He's doing it wrong."
Enak's gonna walk up, and he's gonna
And the
grab.
kid's like, oh. And Undercommon, you hear him screaming, no, they killed my parents, don't kill me. And Undercommon.
He's grabs the
Undercommon?
kid by the.
This is a drow kid?
Yeah, he can speak.
Okay.
So his tongue hasn't been cut yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
He's like, if you do a bad job, no.
Enak grabs the kid by the hands.
He's still attached
that's
to chains,
grabbing.
yeah. And some of the guards on the ramparts, kind of look down and go, and unchain him, take him inside.
So while Enok's big frame is between the ramparts and the kid, Gravel's gonna use that cover to unlock the kid.
They're watching.
Since none of us have a key.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gonna use Enok's body as cover.
Okay, so advantage
pick all
on
the
these.
locks on these. So the first one.
Which one are you going for? Because they each have different. The collar and the angles have a different DC.
Collar first.
Okay.
And that is a 27.
Okay.
And then the left leg.
Okay.
Is another 27.
Okay, you unlock that one.
And last one is an 18.
Just succeeds. You each shackle. He's like, no.
Keep quiet, kid.
No, and he spits on your mask.
That's a spirit.
Right,
Do we just kind of drag him to...
Enak holds him like up on the arms.
You can see two guards up on the ramparts slowly cranking the doors open. And the doors grind open.
Enak's actually going to swap it. He's going to drop the hands and catch him by the foot, the ankle.
Okay.
And hold him upside down.
Yeah. The guards are going to point to Lindak and Enak and say, Ugasabi, and point to Gravel and Talindra. Basically, pointing at Enak and Lindak as the two big imposing ones. You take care of this, you two stay on patrol.
Wait, so who's taking care of it?
Lindak and Enak, they're the big imposing ones.
All right, they said that you two are going to have to mockingly take care of the kid or do what you can. Looks like they're gesturing you inside. Tal and I, looks like we're going to have to stay out here.
I'll keep sharing as much as I can with you.
All right, if we can't speak for whatever reason, just wait for us.
Okay.
Find out as much as you can, and try to repeat what someone says, and communicate it to me so I can tell you what to say and everything.
Okay.
As you're all kind of standing around, Talindra, you hear a voice in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, hello, cousin. I'd very much like to speak to you and your friends. Please come see me in my office.
Do I see him
Nope,
anywhere?
you do not. And there's a little bit of commotion throughout the fort, and the guard that just gave that command then says, and it says Zin wants to see the four of them.
Well, they're asking for us. Zin.
Oh, we probably got this kid killed. Okay. Whoa. Enak's still going to walk to the door.
Okay.
See if you can't hide the kid in the barrel or something.
So, getting as you and Linda get into the center of the fort, This large open courtyard is mostly barren with barrels of some sort of alcohol tapped and lying on tables, along with a large fire where a massive, bald, bird-like creature with hooked limbs roasts. 6 more drow figures in metal spider-like masks roam this courtyard, sipping on mugs and chewing on hunks of unusual meat. Throughout the courtyard are about 15 more of these crates filled with the lilac crystals. Moving gracefully through the courtyard is an ogre-sized, 4-armed humanoid-looking creature with purple-black skin and yellow-white hair. 2 of its arms are huge and muscular, tipped with sharp claws, and the other 2 are the size and shape of drow arms, capable of delicate movements. Although the creature is heavily muscled, it is graceful and quiet. Its face is clearly demonic with bestial features, glowing red eyes, an elongated dog-like snout, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. There is another set of double doors on the adjacent wall from you, and a set of stairs immediately to your left go upwards to the first floor of the fort.
Remember, guys, lodestone. Lodestone first. And then... well, I guess he's still saying this to Enak as well as out loud to Talindra. Lodestone first, and then figure out where we are on the material plane, I guess.
So Talindra, with that sending spell that Zin sent you, you can respond to it. 25 words or less. You
Not respond immediately?
Yeah. You get a sense he knows you're here, though.
That's a hard one to respond to.
He said, bring your friends to my office. You and your friends. Basically, the 4 of you are being permitted inside the fort. You get a sense the guards don't know what's happening, but Zin gave the order.
And I get the sense he knows I'm here. He knows my friends are here. He knows.
You get a sense.
Is this just like a one-time, he sends it, I send the thing back, and that's it?
Yep.
This is hard.
How are you going to play it?
Oh, and that big hulking demon-like creature with the limbs is eyeing the kid. You get a sense whatever punishment happens, people get fed to that thing. So that's this kid's punishment, is most likely being fed to that thing.
I say to Zin, I will speak with you as long as my friends are safe.
Okay. He doesn't respond, but
Okay.
You do sense he got the message, the response.
Okay.
And yeah.
And are these guards like looking at us?
Not anymore. They're like, oh, Zen gave them an order. Fuck it, we're just gonna comply. You get a sense everyone in this entire fort is, listening.
But they're aware that Zen sent me the message. Do they seem aware of that?
No. They just seem aware that they were given an order to let you in.
Okay.
And it's not sure nobody's told him anything yet. He's just kind of following along with Enak.
Okay. I say to Gravel, I just spoke to Zin. He wants to speak with us. And I told him he knows we're here. He knows all of us are here. And I told him I would speak with him as long as he can guarantee the safety of all of you.
I was gonna immediately, are Enak and Lindak separate now for a significant amount?
They went in the fort ahead of you guys, so yes.
Find a hiding spot for the kid. We got a meeting with Zin.
There's a lot of people around here. I don't think that's going to be possible. I'm just going to hold on to the kid.
We'll ask someone where the bathroom is or something. Peel off. This is how
I
you
don't
say
speak
that.
their
This is how
language.
you say that in
Okay.
Undercommon. Awesome.
The next closest drow is to say, where's the bathroom? Skubla.
Gestures to basically in the feeding pit.
I said in the feeding pit. I don't know.
Okay, he's gonna turn to Lindak. And he's just gonna walk away.
Okay.
Lindak's just standing there like, what's going on?
The
man?"
guards are looking at you, Lindak, and they're just like, Zin. And they gesture towards the stairs.
I head towards the stairs.
Okay. And that big fiend
Looking around to see if I can figure out what the heck Enak is doing.
He's looking for the feeding wherever he was told to go.
Mhm.
Enak, you're directed to a pit in the ground where a bunch of bones are, shit and piss. It's just an open hole in the ground that big demon thing uses to relieve itself after it's eaten people.
Does it look like there's place that to hide or to lay low around?
In the pit. Give me a perception check. There's enough sound going on where it's like
Okay.
you're Daredevil right now at this point.
Okay. That's really good. 18.
18. There's a few barrels. They're not empty. They're filled with what looks like a dark liquid.
Okay. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Do they look? They don't look tapped or anything, do they?
These ones, no.
Okay. He's gonna look around. Is anybody looking at him?
At this moment, no. They're too busy trying to lure the kind of big demon around to eat some miners who were not doing a good job, and that thing is just snacking on screaming, still alive miners.
Okay, so he's gonna take the kid and he's going to open the. He's gonna shift around, open the barrel, and
It's just collected gross dark water.
Yeah,
Don't
he's
forget
gonna.
to tell the kid what you're doing.
He is.
He's
He's gonna look to the kid, and he's gonna shift the mask a little bit so that it shows his face.
Mm.
trying to scare
Wait, guys.
Hide here. Stay quiet.
It looks like he doesn't understand what you're saying. Actually,
Fuck.
he does understand what you're saying because he's of common birth.
Right.
Common birth noble. He knows the common language. He would have heard it. So
Stay quiet.
he nods and
Stay here, and he's
hides
gonna
in the
reach
barrel.
into. He's gonna reach. He's gonna discreetly pull a hand axe. He's gonna set it there, and then he's gonna take the lid and try to lift it so the lid's like positioned on the
Okay.
dude's head a little bit. Then he's gonna put the mask back, and then he's going to shift the robe so it looked like he just peed, and he's gonna
Okay.
lift his leg and like shake it a little bit, and then make his way back.
Okay. And the guards look at you and they go, "Iskababada," and they point and they say, "Iskabat Zin," and they point to the staircase where you see Lindak walking up and opening a door.
Okay. Follow Lynn back.
Okay. And there's guards like looking down at Talindra and Gravel, waiting for you two to go into the fort as well.
Ready?
I think Enak is taking care of the kid, hiding him.
Good.
I'm up the stairs. Kid's headed barrel with the hand axe by the feeding pit.
All right, he just updated me with the position. Of both
Ching,
the
ching,
kid
ching,
and
ching. Snapshots of the
Yeah.
of where
Yep,
it was.
yep, yep.
Ting, 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 ting.
And also in those snapshots is the massive fiendish drow dog demon hybrid eating living miners.
it's gonna get rough once we get in there. So,
I just don't
Ghastly
see any way
stuff.
around it. So
all right. I guess we just gotta make our way through. Your cousin's a bitch.
if this ends
He's
up
a
poorly, I
bastard.
want to say I'm sorry if I dragged you into anything.
Nah, it's fine.
All right, we go forward.
Okay. You can see the guard looks at the two of you. Niskava Zin, and points to the staircase where you see Enak go through.
Okay.
Well, hard to tell because everyone's in the same outfit, but the size and you look around, it's probably Enak.
He's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I follow.
Okay. Now you can see that big demon thing walking around like, and it's just ripping into still living miners. Yeah, you guys can get up the staircase to that door should you choose to.
I lead the way, I suppose.
During this whole time, have we seen anyone like with an odd looking necklace that
Nope.
would resemble a lodestone or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay. And have I seen anything that might indicate location, like in the ground? Like, are there any interesting routes that could be from like large trees or?
That's in a rather open area.
Okay. All right.
Okay. You follow up these stairs then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So you all push through the floor into the second door. Through the door into the second floor. It's a single corridor that spans around the perimeter walls of the fort. Inside its interior, it is dimly lit with torches on the walls every 30 feet or so. The floors are old and wooden and groan slightly with every step. The ceiling is 10 feet high and the corridors are about 10 feet wide. After about 40 feet, looking ahead, the corridor turns right directly ahead of you. And then behind you, the corridor stretches about 20 feet before turning to the left. And then before the turn in the corridor ahead of you is a single door with the words Kaiostal carved into it. And that word, to gravel, loosely translates to armory in Undercommon.
Armory.
Hmm.
And he'll gesture in that direction.
Okay. And you can hear people walking around, so there's still guards patrolling this floor as well.
Your cousin's in. Do you think he would notice if we took a quick detour? Probably, right?
I think he probably is already aware that we're here and where we are.
Hmm.
Or at least there's a very good chance.
Reminds me, Talindra, I need a wisdom saving throw and take 5 away from it.
5. Ooh.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, just one moment. Wisdom.
You feel this weird sensation, like the hair prickling off the back of your neck, like someone's watching you. Yeah, wisdom save -5.
With the -5, it's a 4.
Okay. Yeah, you feel like you're being watched.
Yeah, we're definitely being watched.
Nice, yeah. Nice.
Mm.
It's going to look around, pull out the antitoxin and down it.
Okay. Okay. Smart.
Yeah.
Just in case. All right,
Good call.
your antitoxin's gone.
A lot of fucking poison, a spider indication, so that's why we bought it.
Okay. Yeah, and the windows on this floor are too small to squeeze through, even for gravel. They've been designed big enough for crossbows to poke out and fire at would-be assailants.
That's
Yeah.
Cool. So advantage on sacred throws against poison. Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
A few more levels in Paladin, you don't have to worry about that.
Sorry, so we're on the upper floor. There's the armory. There's
Yeah.
the windows.
Yep.
And that's it?
Yeah, and well, it curves to the right, the passageway near the armory, and then behind you it curves to technically to the left.
Okay.
But if you
Okay.
so if you would turn around and look behind you, the corridor would turn to the left. Yes.
Okay.
But looking ahead of you, the corridor ahead of you turns to the right because you're facing ahead. If you were to turn around and face the opposite direction, the corridor would turn to the left.
Okay.
So it goes in like a big square.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, the entirety.
And
of
is the armory in the middle, or is it to the side somewhere?
It's just on the wall up ahead, before the turn in the corner in the corridor.
Okay. And like this is where they were gesturing us towards?
Well, they're adjusting you to go up. So
Oh.
there might be another staircase to go up around here somewhere.
Okay. All right. Should we look for a staircase?
Until we find it.
And then a patrol of 5 guards, kind of just doing their patrol, comes around the corner ahead of you and just starts walking past.
Okay.
Then
Where's Jackson?
they round the corner and disappear out of sight. It's a good thing you guys did this with the cult costumes. Oh,
Well, this
man.
is where they want us to be, though, as I thought. I thought
Yeah,
they were
exactly.
like wanted.
Exactly, but they don't know that you're not.
Yeah.
You get the sense he didn't give them much information.
Oh, so they okay. I see.
They don't know
I see.
like who you are under there.
Right.
They just think he wants to have a word with some of the cultists. Like, ooh, they're in trouble. Otherwise, they don't pay you any mind right at this point. So, like I said, the costumes were a very smart idea.
They were.
Gravel, feeling like they're being watched a lot, he's going to kind of throw out the question. Did you guys think those stairs were slippery back door there? What are we thinking? Yes, no?
No.
Right now?
They weren't very slippery to me.
All right.
Yeah, the patrolling Drow, they just disappear out of sight and around the corner.
I think we should find Sin.
Yeah.
Let's maybe I gesture towards the opposite way that the guards went, like
Okay.
this way.
So towards the armory. Okay.
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 Or towards the. I thought the armory was in the. Oh no.
The armory's ahead
Sorry,
of you.
I'm a little confused.
The armory's
about
ahead of
it.
you. They came from that direction and went behind you.
Okay.
We're just heading towards Zin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing that.
But
Okay. Yeah.
head
we're
towards
doing
Zin, you have to go towards the armory and turn the corner.
Well, then we
it.
do.
Okay, then we'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, so you pass the armory. It's definitely locked. As you can just, it's most
Any
likely locked.
windows?
It's an armory.
Any openings?
And you pass it, and as you turn the corner, there's another staircase going up. Kind of in the middle of the floor, there's a staircase going up. Or no, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, middle of the corridor, there's a staircase going up.
Okay. We go up, I guess, unless someone else has anything to say. Any last words?
Any last words?
Gravel. Are we? Is it going to be slippery when we get into Zin's office?
It seems like Tal is saying no, but if
Should
that's
we
why I
make it
do-
slippery when we get to Zin's office?
it's gonna depend. We'll say it if we need to, but because who knows if he's got guards ready or even how powerful this guy is.
Okay.
All right.
As you get up to the 3rd floor, it is a little more pristine and taken care of than the other areas of the fort. The floors are carpeted with thick purple rugs depicting spider and web motif patterns across them. The corridor is also dimly lit with torches every 30 feet. There's a nearby circular staircase that rises up towards the ramparts. You can hear the faint humming of a song at the end of the corridor and around the corner to the right, but you can't make out words or anything, just humming.
We walk towards where Zin is. Is he?
Like, does it have a hint of some of the stuff Talindra's done, or is it like a
Give me an
tune
insight
that we
check.
would know?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. As a 24.
Eerily familiar. And yeah, so you can kind of catch on that music that whatever is humming that. It's like eerily familiar to what you play on the violin.
That's concerning.
But it's not a violin, it's just humming. Like someone's singing with their...
And that's coming from ahead?
Yep. Up ahead and to
Okay.
the right.
To the right.
You gotta say that kind of mixed feelings coming from that. And he looks at Tal.
Well, we'll see what he has to say. Hopefully things don't get too slippery.
Hmm. All right, lead the way.
All right.
Okay. Down the corridor. And as you round the corner...
Think of something clever, Tal.
At the end of the hall, as you round the corner, you see a door. And standing outside the door... is this right? Yes. Are a total of 10 figures in purple robes with spider-like metal masks. 4 of the figures stand about 7 to 8 feet tall, which is probably why no one's giving Enak a second glance, and are wielding deadly-looking morning stars and javelins, while the other 6 figures appear much more slender and elf-like. They appear to be keeping guard. You get a sense they'd be nearly impossible to sneak up on, so they must be protecting someone or something important. And they turn as you all approach and go, "Ugaskara Zin," one of the smaller ones says. And you say, "Are you here to see Zin?" In Undercommon.
Yeah.
And they kind of, all these figures kind of step aside. And through these big, tall ones, you can see kind of clumps of like, thick, coarse brown hair all over their bodies that look like bugbears.
Cool.
And one of the bugbears just opens the door.
Is there a lock on this door?
There is, but you cannot see it from this side, obviously. It locks from the inside.
So there's no keyhole.
There's no keyhole.
It'd be like a latch or something.
Yeah, you don't see anything on this side.
Okay, cool.
And the chamber, as you can see into it, is ostentatious but also incredibly macabre. There's a large mirror on the northern wall of the room with spiders carved into the metal exterior. A large wooden desk is nestled in the center of the room where a high-backed purple chair rests that almost resembles a spider with 8 points curling out from the center. The walls are covered in the assorted skulls of various humanoids and creatures. A large 4-poster bed sits against the eastern wall with silk purple curtains, and a large ornate spider-shaped chest at the foot of the bed. The desk is bare, aside from the skull of a drow with a gem embedded in between the eyes, which the drow residing in this chamber quickly picks it up and slips it into his frock. The drow you see is elegant and handsome, with a chiseled jawline where a pointed white beard sits and a silver ring pierced through his left nostril. He has tousled white hair shaved on either side and styled into a type of quiff. His eyes are a crimson red in color and is wearing a long, flowing, high-collared frock coat of purple and black that cascades down the back like an elegant gown, and beneath the coat rests a set of shimmering silver chainmail. His left hand is studded with metal rings shaped into spiders where purple gems sit. Running down his neck is a series of spiderweb tattoos. He wears a pair of black silken trousers with knee-high black leather boots with noticeable heels. On his side rests a scimitar made from a dazzling, shimmering, lilac-colored crystal, a hand crossbow, and a coiled-up whip. He smiles at you and gestures for you to come in.
I come forward and I put on a smile. This is Zin, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Yeah.
He waves his hand as you all step in. And the door...
Hello, cousin.
Or is everyone coming in?
Yep.
Okay. He waves his hand a little bit, and the door shuts and latches. So what do I owe the pleasure of your disturbance? And his red eyes dart to each of you with a surveying glance.
While everybody's clustered in the doorway and it latches, does it look like it could easily be unlatched just by like the flick of a wrist?
You'll have to find out. So, for what do I owe the pleasure of all of your disturbance here in my fort?
I heard you were looking for me.
Of course I was, but not for them, so I don't know why you brought them along.
They're friends of mine. They're very useful.
Clearly.
Since I heard that you were looking for me, I figured I would try to find you myself. You're a more difficult man to find than you'd imagine, especially when you seem to put on some sort of hit on my friends.
Kenny just smiles. Your friends are very easily noticeable in some regards. My contacts in the Myriad are very interested in this one. He looks at Gravel.
Really?
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, something is owed. And they're offering me quite a pretty sum for either him or the object he was supposed to give them. Which I believe was returned?
Well, there was something like that, I believe.
And he looks at the other two. And what's your business? Looking at Lindak and Enak.
I guard Talindra.
They're friends of mine. They're loyal.
He gestures at your eyes. Clearly not good enough, though.
It was well fought, trust me.
So what do you think of my little operation, Talindra?
I think it's very well run. I'm impressed.
Are you lying?
I'm definitely making it seem like I'm thinking this is a positive thing when I don't, so in that sense, yes.
Deception check.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, wait, that can't be right. Sorry, one moment.
Yeah, take
How
a look
do
at
I-
Ian.
Oh yeah.
It's
okay,
charisma.
okay.
So,
I got a 13.
oh, he just smiles at you and just shakes his head. Well, I know that not to be true. You come from feeble stock.
Come from
There's
the
no
same stock as
way
you.
the way you were raised would take kindly to all of this. Did you like the tune I was singing?
I did.
Do you want to know where I learned it?
I would love to know that.
I thought I'd make us a little ultimatum. Just a little bit, to see if you would join me. Your friends, I could care less about them, really. That's why they're disposable. But if I could sell them to the Myriad, I could make a pretty penny instead of killing them. That said, and he conjures an image of a elderly human woman, in just in a house, playing a violin, and you recognize it to be Madame Le Charme.
Oh no.
And he's like, she didn't speak much about you, but she wanted to protect you, which is very, very nice, I think. She taught me lots about you.
Sort of things.
Oh. You're very talented from what I've gathered. And she's very good with an instrument, very good with the violin. It won't be doing her much good now, unfortunately, but... When I couldn't get your friends, I decided to go after someone else close to you.
I see. Yeah, it was really unnecessary, you know? I've been trying to find you. I wanted to join you.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because being away from my home, I've started to rethink certain beliefs.
So, you would be 100% fine with everyone in Rosohna dying, then? Your parents included. All those innocent children included.
If it's what it takes.
Well then. He smiles a bit. What about your friends? What do they think of that?
They,
Oh, let them speak for themselves. I want to hear what they think.
I
Those are
like
not my
Tal.
people.
Yeah. I like Tal. I just do what she does.
And what about you, Lindak?
That was my friend.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, if you're all okay with it. He stands up, kind of pulls up that skull, and he's just in Elvish, or no, in Abyssal. He just says, look, and pockets the skull again and sits down.
what was that?
Oh, just giving the order a little early, I thought. If you're okay with it.
I want to insight.
Yeah, go for it.
Fuck. It's an 11.
11? For what you can tell, he's telling the truth.
Well, I mean, obviously we're around some shifty asshole. I mean, would I be able
Insight
to...
check.
All right. It's a 19.
There's some deception, but there's some truth to what he just said. So he's half telling the truth, half lying.
I glean this by looking at Gravel.
Probably not. Gravel's not gonna let anything slip with his expression.
So, do you know the names of the people you murdered to get those outfits?
No.
I prefer to enjoy the people I kill. Prefer to enjoy their names and their stories. And at least...
It was just so quick.
Well, at least there's a lot of stories to end in Rosohna, so that's good.
How long will it take?
Oh, it's instantaneous once I send the message.
I see.
My devout followers down there sacrifice themselves to detonate the crates. And then I leave this place.
Where is this place exactly? That's weird.
It's the Underdark.
Yeah, but I mean, usually there's like some indications of like where it would be on material plane.
The Underdark is always on the
Ground.
material plane.
Well, yes. I'm just saying, like, where in regards to, for instance, Rosohna are we? That's crazy. I mean, we were in the mines, but...
You'll find out.
Yeah, all right. Figured I'd ask.
Not far, though. Far enough to feel the after effects.
I thought you said it was automatic.
It is. It takes time for things like that to travel, though. And you all do feel a little bit of a rumble.
Oh, fuck.
So, when you decided to lie to me about wanting to join, why would you do that?
Because we need a way out. We're stuck here.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. And whose fault is that?
It's the fault of the people that you sent.
No, it's not. You followed them. You didn't have to. They were meant to go back and sort of put on a scene.
What exactly are your intentions with me?
Well, I don't want to kill you, your family. Killing family would be abysmal.
Well, you already killed your family.
Well, your parents don't matter.
All of our family is there.
Right, but you're the one who got away. I figured you might be more open to suggestion.
What made you think I would be open to suggestion just because I left?
Of course. I did as well. I figured we were one and the same, but clearly I was wrong. My mistress tells me quite a lot about each of you. It's very interesting what's happening.
What does she tell you?
Secrets, whispers.
You still haven't told me what your plan is with me. You want me here, you're not going to kill me. So what are you going to do?
That depends on what happens today.
Today?
What you and your friends plan to do today. I gather you've come to this place to kill me. I'm not stupid.
We actually hadn't intended that.
Gravel's gonna shake his head. Yeah, that wasn't in the plan.
We have no intention of killing anyone if we can avoid it.
Really?
Yes?
Hmm.
We were hoping we could speak with you and negotiate. But
Negotiate what?
well, we wanted to see if we could talk you down.
From
Wanted
what?
to see if we could talk you from what you just did.
I serve my mistress, not those balls of light. She wanted it done, I did as she willed.
Right. Right, and you've done it now. That's not the point.
Partly done it. I didn't get all the
Partly.
crates under the city, unfortunately.
I see. Why not?
You four blundered in.
You said they're not ready, is that?
Well, you saw how much is in the fort. I could make an order and one of my guards would definitely detonate one of those crates. And all of us and all of you and this entire place would go up. So. Curious why I haven't ordered that then, yes?
Well, you wouldn't achieve your plan if you did that.
Who says I wouldn't?
You said
The first of the crates were buried under the Lucid Bastion. Those are the ones I detonated.
Insight.
Go for it.
Yeah. Same.
Holy crap. Did we just fuck up really bad?
We.
What'd you get?
17.
You wasn't lying. What'd you get, Gravel?
I got a 23.
100% honest. No, just like almost like smug smile about it.
Would we know that the Lucid Bastion is where they keep the Luxon
Yep,
beacons?
and where the Bright Queen resides.
Oh, fuck.
There's guards around us, yes?
Outside the door, yeah.
Just him.
The guards are outside the door, just standing outside. So, there's probably a good number of Luxon beacons in that place, so I might not have gotten all of them. But I probably would have gotten a few, and the cool thing about these crystals is they can destroy artifacts and magic items when they detonate.
So I'd heard.
Is it slippery yet?
I don't know. I'm waiting for Tal.
Why? I don't understand why you haven't killed me yet.
Because, like I said, I could have use for you.
And what use is that?
Well, you're known well in the courts. Well, your family, was. I don't know if they survived the explosion. They might have. Well, and I'm quite sure the Bright Queen most likely would have as well, but if I did, and if my task went as planned, and there are no more Luxon beacons, they can no longer consecute. Well, they are no longer consecuted if that is the case. And all those souls have nowhere to go. But if you could find me more beacons that haven't been destroyed and bring them to me, I would happily destroy them, give you some money. But unfortunately, I don't trust your friends. So I'll be selling them to the Myriad. I have a contact ready to go. He is very persuasive, very good at finding people, very good at giving them contracts to find things I seek. And he looks at Gravel.
Yeah.
The person I know in the Myriad knows of what I seek and puts you on this task.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. It's kind of hard to seek things when you're blind, though. Cast blindness on him.
Counterspell.
Oh, I cast Hold Person.
Everybody roll initiative. Actually, no. We'll pick up here next week.
I was waiting for him to do like something like that, so I was like, oh.
Yeah, we'll pick up here next week as you guys fight
Okay.
Zin. Counterspell the blindness. And yeah, we'll you can do hold person. You can do hold person on your turn when you roll initiative, because that blindness would have initiated combat. So
Even if I was like waiting for him.
yep, you didn't
Yeah,
say you
okay.
held an action. So yep, we're that's where we're gonna pick up next week.
Okay.
Man, oh man, everybody okay? Very intense. And the guards are alerted. So it's gonna be interesting next week. I'd keep playing, but I know some of us have to get up early for work,
Yeah.
and we're almost at 4 hours. So
Rough.
Get to do our strategy.
yeah. So thanks for watching, everybody. That was a meaty session, and I'm glad we had to have a long session for this week because we got to fit some good stuff in. Next week is going to be interesting, y'all. So yeah, no Beneath the Tide tonight, as you can tell, obviously. Looks like Rime of the Frostbane's a go tomorrow, most likely. So see you all next week.